like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, 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 run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, 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 run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, 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 run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run. run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun.
Hello, all. Welcome to Apochromatic Unlimited tonight. Normally, we'd start with lots of crazy introductions and all those things, but I think we're going to set the tone for this game before we get to know everyone. So, picture in your mind space, the void, the black, the darkness, the stars glittering and gleaming. And one star seems to be gleaming, but as you move towards it, you realize it's not a star, it's a blinking light. It's a blinking light on a freighter that's not moving. One of those freighters that's just big enough that it's, too big to be like a fast ship, more like a blockade runner. One you'd find that would transport goods from place to place. That kind of classic, maybe they're a smuggler, maybe they're a pirate, maybe there's something in between. We're not really sure, but there's one blinking light. And those of you that are familiar with space travel can tell very quickly and very easily that something's not right here. This ship's not moving. It's kind of floating, stagnant, not where it should be or where it should be going. And as you pan across it, you move to the bridge of the ship, and you're laid in on a scene. And that scene consists of our good doctor. Owen, would you like to describe our good doctor and what he might be up to in this moment?
Yes. So my character, Dr. Oryx, is among the crew here on the bridge of the ship. He is slender with angular facial features, currently a blue skin with ridged and scaly quality to it. What you hear is a hissing sound from the air vents in this room uh, as gas fills this space, and one by one, officers are slumping down dead at their stations. Oryx stands up and walks over to the captain in the captain's chair as he is choking and says, "Now, Captain, I'd like to thank you for your cooperation in divulging this intel. Now, in my professional medical opinion, you have a couple minutes before the poison takes effect. Sadly, it has no effect on me, which means you have an opportunity to contribute to the advancement of medical science. All you have to do is tell me," and I think he turns off his disguise, his hollow mask uh, fades away, and you see that his skin is bright red, same features, but now a bright crimson shade. And he says, "Tell me, how does this toxin make you feel?"
Hmm.
And whatever the captain says, if he silently
Starts to cough and congeal as this near human individual begins to spatter and split up blood as he reaches out in that, like, trying to grab at you, but clearly the toxin is taking effect and making his body rigid. Looks like he's about to spatter out a curse at you. Like, you can see the hate in his eyes as he tries to reach at you before he, like, collapses out of the chair onto the floor.
Fascinating. Well, everything is data. I'll turn on my communicator and say, "I'm done here."
And at that moment, we move. Not This is a ship that's large enough that if something were to happen to the bridge, there's clearly a secondary bridge, and that secondary bridge is where you tend to keep lots of other data and information, and usually the backups of lots of things. And as we move through the halls of the ship, which some of them are being affected by this poison gas, it starts to dissipate. Some of them are not. It just seems to be, it has a reach, but it's not being pumped through the whole ship's ventilation system. But we move to the secondary bridge, and what we find down there is Taylor, who unmutes.
Yes. I remembered the first time that you'll have to tell me 30 times straight on mute. But yeah, I think so. We find a rather small but very stout individual. They are like 5'4" or so, beefy as hell, with kind of this very almost pinkish purple, kind of off-white skin tone that kind of comes up and it gets kind of lighter. It's a very like ombre where it's probably darker on the arms and the skin, and then once it gets to the hair, it's like stark white, but the hair is more like tentacles. I think like Gorgon meets Asari. So hair, but also separate. It's interesting. But she has these just golden, bright, piercing eyes with this very like defined brow that is probably set currently in a bit of a scowl. It's probably always set in a scowl, but especially in this moment, as very armored, like in space form, so sleek, but looks hefty, as they are, probably maybe it has like a little pocket drive that they've been kind of downloading whatever sort of information we may have needed, but that's kind of going in the side. I probably had someone else tell me how to set that specifically while I'm on this bridge as we've split up, because she's a little more concerned currently with placing explosive material in very key parts of this ship so that when I hit the button, if anything survives the gas, it's not going to survive this. There's going to be no oxygen left in this place. And I think, yeah, when the I'm done here happens, she kind of like looks at her watch. It's like, goes back on comms. Well, do you want me to set the time for like 5 minutes? Do we want to run, or is maybe more like 30 minutes better? It's in here like messing with a little like detonation device.
5 is fine with me. There's no more info to extract here.
Wonderful. Sets it to
And-
5. Grabs the thumb drive.
As we set the timer to 5 minutes and the thumb drive is retrieved from the secondary bridge, we pan lastly to the engineering section of the ship, where the Solaris drive is, the thing that allows them to connect to these other places and basically move faster than light from place to place. And we find our last member of our team. And that leads us to you, Cameron. What do we find going on?
So, you'll see Ash, who is also not that tall, pretty short, but is much thinner and more lean, I guess, than stocky. And they're more of like they're an iridescent kind of purpley blue. They also have these kind of long tentacle like things coming out of their hair. They're dressed in like a super simple military uniform, almost as if to blend in with the people on the ship in a way. And unfortunately, while this communication has gone on, they've stabbed somebody who has caught them while they were trying to pilfer the engine for any kind of goods or materials they could use, with a blade that popped right out of their arm. They just slashed him right across the throat. And they'll go on the comms and say, 5 sounds good. I got a little interrupted here, so I might be a little late.
I think I can't even remember what I've named my character. Hold on, I gotta pull up my character sheet. Oh my god. But she got over her shoulder at probably like 4 dudes just knocked out in the corner. I was like, I understand. Don't be late though, you'll regret it. You hear the beeping commence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think you all make it back to the airlock where you'd normally find the docking area. If you examine it very closely, you see what would probably be described as a small gunboat tethered to the top of this freighter that's indistinguishable in space. But as you all enter it, clearly it resumes its decloaking mechanism as you detach from the ship with about 45 seconds to spare and gun the engine to fly away as you kind of count over the crate you brought with you from engineering, with some weapons in it, the data that you've recorded from the bridge, and the drive that your companion socketed onto the secondary bridge. As you turn and hear on the comms, seems like everything is in order, right? This would be Kiki, your handler, who you've been working with the past 4 months or so. She's very chipper. She appears to be in good spirits. She always seems to be very nice to all of you. You're not really sure if she's an AI, a VI, or a real person on the other end of the line. But it's very much gives orders in such a chipper and refreshing manner. It's a little off-putting given the jobs that she sends you to do sometimes. But I think that's a great place for us to move away, as the cargo ship full of individuals is now incinerated and lost to the void.
Oops.
Now that we've set a bit of a tone for this game, we should probably introduce our players. And we can go ahead and go in the same order that we did. We're going to start with Owen.
Yes, hi. I am Owen J. Ace. I am a game writer, a video game writer, and TTRPG writer, and actual play performer. Yeah, I am happy to be here. I am playing Dr. Haldren Oryx.
What species is Haldren?
He is a Lorendi.
Which are an offshoot variant of a different species in the book. They're not known for being super nice. They come from kind of a crazy imperialistic dictatorship, best way to put it. Benevolent dictatorship, as they like to present themselves. Yeah. Okay. Anything you want to talk about socials? Anywhere else anything quick to say?
Yes. You can find me on all socials at Ace of Squares. Yeah, you can find me here and sometimes on High Shelf Collective, where I do streams and actual plays.
Next, we've got Taylor, who's also double dipping and doing Tech Force tonight. So everybody thank Taylor for tech.
Yeah, hi. I am Taylor at Potato Toe on the internet. There are some underscores here, there, on other places, but Blue Sky is just as is. You can also find me playing all sorts of games, obviously right here on High Shelf Collective, as well as over on Lost Caravan. I have quite a few campaigns going over there pretty frequently. But here today and for the entirety of this campaign, I will be playing, I gotta look in the name, Danny for short is the easy, Dania if you want to go with like the add like 4 vowels at the end, you are more than welcome to. She is a Dindus and a badass. Hopefully, we'll see. She thinks she's badass. We don't know what the dice are going to do to me.
The dice always betray Taylor. That is, we tried to build Taylor because the dice always betray Taylor. Taylor's like 10. It's my favorite number in a D20 system. Makes me so very happy.
Yeah.
And last but definitely not least, we've got Cameron.
Hello, I'm Cameron. I am mostly a writer. I'm mostly behind the scenes for the most part. So I'm excited to join the front of the scenes for the first time. So this is all very new, and I'm very excited to be here. You can find me online. I mostly don't talk about the work that I'm doing, but you can find me online if you ever want to keep up with me at Chaos Theory with 2 A's and 2 E's. And for this game, I'll be playing Ash Mizar, who is a Dendis as well.
Double Dendis action.
True.
Yep. And also, oops, all engineers, but I don't think that's really an oops at this point in time.
I don't think it's going to be an oops. I think it's going to be terrifying for everyone that we interface with.
Don't disagree with you. All right. So happy to. And by the way, I'm Paul. I'm back, and I'm unapologetically black. You can find me here on Apochromatic Unlimited doing this, and on Thursdays for our video game streams a lot of the time. You can also find me on HSC. Right now, I'm doing Worldwide Wrestling every third Monday. So next week, I'll be doing that over there. You could find me on Lost Caravan if I didn't have this giant beef with Hoop. Let's keep that myth going. Forever and ever.
Arch enemies.
Forever and ever. But yeah. So you have successfully completed this mission and have left a ship full of individuals who may or may not have been guilty of crimes against the government. At least your handler believes they've been crimes against the greater government and handle these things, as you are effectively an off-the-books squad at this point in time. You're referred to as Wraiths by your handler, and that's because all of you really know, you really remember dying at some point in time. We'll get into that a little bit later, but you all remember dying for some reason. Some of you may have been in line of duty. Some of you may have been for war crimes. Some of you may have been for things in between. we'll get to that when we get to that. So there's some mysterious past that we're going on, but you have successfully acquired what you needed from this mission. You have a crate full of weapons, which we can inspect here in a moment. You have 2 sets of datas from computers, and who wants to look at what in what order? You guys are, in the long scheme of your lives, are pretty new to working with each other, and you don't really have an option in your teammate. So if those interpersonal conflicts start popping up, you kind of been signed to work together. So that's the way this cookie crumbles sometimes. So you got a crate full of weapons and 2 drives full of data.
I'll examine one of the drives.
Sure. You want to give me a quick computers roll? Which drive are you examining? The one you brought or the one that Danny acquired from the secondary bridge?
I'll look at the one that I brought.
Okay.
Oh, man. I'm not great at computers, turns out.
First roll of the game. Turns out you did not make a hacker.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's pretty good. 18.
18. Good to hear. So you find, especially running it cross-referencing against all the files you're supposed to have found from your handler, Kiki, you very quickly put it all together that you have everything you're supposed to get here. It's a lot of shipping manifests. It's a lot of bank transfers. It's a lot of really boring stuff you, as the doctor involved in your type of line of work that you do or don't do, really find super boring. But it is what your handler told you needed to look for your next phase of whatever you're going to be doing next. So you cross-reference those files, and if you want to, you can go ahead and forward them on to Kiki to manage.
Yeah. Bored with this. I will forward it over to Kiki. It's all there.
Kiki. Yeah. Kiki sends you a little big thumbs up with a little smiley face emoji and thanks you for your time and energy.
Oh, yeah.
Emojis. Lord help us.
Mm-hmm. It's the future. It's a future with multiple alien races. Can you imagine the amounts of emojis that exist?
Yeah.
There would be some like serious like translation problems between different like races emojis, you know, like what means something in this planet and this are gonna be very different.
Oh yeah. Very, very different. Never ever post a tentacle emoji. It's a whole realm of things we don't know.
It could mean so many things and you don't want it. You don't want it anymore.
So we've also got a crate full of weapons and another drive.
I think Ash
I know
looks at the other drive rather than the weapons. They don't know anything
Is
about
this a case of where Ash and Danny switch places quickly? Like, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm handing this.
I think it's also like Ash maybe looked at the weapons and Danny's like sitting on it with her like 12 weapons attached to her and was like, I got it.
Well, yeah, I'm allowed to have that one, I think.
All right. Well, then we're going to go to Danny. Danny, would you like to... I'm not going to make you make a check to open up a crate full of weapons. But it is a crate full of Aramis Smart Tech rifles that aren't due to hit the market for a couple of months. So this is somebody who has their hands on some tech that shouldn't technically be out yet. So this is very much top-of-the-line military-grade assault hardware that was on a freighter that you're fairly sure should definitely not have it. And if the good doctor has informed you about the what the good doctor has gotten their hands on, you can be pretty sure that somebody is doing some sort of smuggling operations. But there's a crate of these bad boys, which means there's probably about 30 of them, which is enough to arm a small, like, rebel force or a small insurrection type force, which does lead to the intel you were given at the start of this situation. And, you know, you're kind of now in the spot of like, well, you have proof that somebody somewhere in Aramis is arming someone. Now, are they arming them because they're ideologues, or are they arming them because they're getting paid to arm them? That is the universal question when it comes to something like this hits the market. Is this just a monetary transaction, or does somebody believe in a cause? But it's definitely one of those cases where it's interesting, to say the least. Okay. And then... is there anything Danny wants to do other than maybe like take one of the rifles because that's a thing Danny does.
Yeah. Fully taking a rifle. Would love to keep it for themselves. Depends on what the bosses say. I don't know if this like contraband at this point, but definitely wants to at least take one apart. Like we'll clean it,
sure.
Like it's just like what?
Well, we can deal with that here in a moment. We can totally deal with you taking it apart. Not a problem. But before we get there, I believe we do have our second roll of the game, which is this secondary computer check from this backed up secondary data situation. So give me another. We need one more computer roll already. We're 20 minutes in and 2 computer rolls in.
That's perfect. I just got a 23, as I'm very proficient in computers.
I'm good at that. Turns out that I'm good at the computing.
Yeah.
I'm a computer. There you go. There's your meme for the day. So you start looking at this data. I assume you're going to cross-reference it against the one that the good doctor has already uploaded, as well as what you want from the boss. So you quickly find that same amount of things are there. And you, being much more skilled at computers and knowing what to look for in things, find a subsection of encrypted files. You haven't broken the encryption, but they're definitely hidden behind a bunch of other stuff. Like, it's basic, like, here's a maintenance log. Why is there military Omega grade encryption on a maintenance lit? That doesn't belong there. That's the exact opposite of what should be in a maintenance log. Like, if you didn't know what you were looking for, you'd just pass over it because there's no point in looking at it. But you are very skilled with computers, and knowing that, you're like, this A plus B does not equal E. This equals E for some odd reason. And it's not on the list of things that you've been flagged to send to your boss, so you could send it and see if they want to take the time to break the encryption. You could shut up about it and keep it for yourself and start trying to decrypt it yourself.
I think I'm gonna, because it wasn't on the list of things I have to send, and if I don't have to send it, I'm not gonna send it. So I think I'm gonna work on that encryption myself as a side project.
That yourself. Side project. All right. Go ahead and give me the first roll on that long-standing roll that we're going to be doing periodically throughout this series now that you decided to keep this. So we're going to make this an extended roll. Go ahead and give me your first D20 roll on this extended roll.
That'll be 19.
Okay. Nice. Thank you for letting me know. I'll let you know when you can make your next one.
Perfect.
As you start running a decryption program, and it seems to be going to work, but it's definitely a changing and mutating algorithm. So this is going to be a while.
Great.
This is not one of those things where you're like, oh, 10 minutes later, I know what's behind this wall. No, this is if we're dealing with matrix coding, it's like, and the fight has started.
Yeah, this might be a few weeks.
What's up?
This might be a few weeks.
Correct. It might be a little while. So we are now on our gunship. We've got our things. We've sent in our data to our handler. The three of you are doing whatever you need to do in whatever direction you need to do it to a degree. But it takes a few minutes. It's that time period that's uncomfortable in the post-mission where probably all of you had very different post-mission rituals before you met each other. And because you've only been together a few months, it's not like everybody's interpersonally nice about this yet. So the doctor could be going over his medical notes about poison gas effects, which could be offsetting to Ash or Danny. Who knows? Maybe both of you aren't really good on poison gas effects. It's could be a little iffy there. As you're both dentists and may or may not have a planetary history with people who may or may not look like the good doctor. If you even know what the good doctor really looks like. I guess that's up to the good doctor if he's revealed his true self.
I think that he has. I think this is a secret that he doesn't care to maintain in the in between period between missions.
In between time.
Yeah.
So for a settings piece that's right out of the settings book, for those of you who haven't read the Esper Genesis book, which I recommend you all do. If you haven't seen this game, it is a 5e rehash that is very Mass Effect inspired and very, very neat. It takes a good sci-fantasy look, and it's also written by a person of color, which is always great.
Also, real quick, we keep going. Hi, readers! Thank you so much, Jess the Human, for rating, and everybody. I see Matt popping up in chat. Who I think, Matt's been on the games here. Hello, Hello, welcome.
Welcome. We just started our story, so there you go. Mm-hmm. And it will probably not be finished for WrestleMania 40. That's not the point. Jab, you wrestling fans out there, jab. But no. So, if you haven't seen it, the particular Dendists have a history of war. They're a species that has been invaded many a times by many an empire, including the one the Good Doctor belongs to. That was their most recent go-round. So it is a very close to somebody who may have been their enemy in the recent past. Some of these people may have fought directly against them on this ship. And now they all keep fairly close quarters on a gunboat when they're not back at a smuggling moon, which we'll get to soon enough. But what are the post-mission rituals? We'll go in reverse order this time, and I'll put Cameron on the spot first.
I think Ash is the type of person that they're like an extremely like meticulous planner. So when things don't go exactly to the T, which many missions don't go, especially when plan A is kick the door down, plan B is shoot. So they're kind of de-stressing, perhaps by they're kind of maybe just even like watching the mesmerized by their own like decryption process, just as almost a form of meditation to kind of like bring down their own energy from the situation.
They did have to unplannedly stab someone recently.
Yeah. You thought I was just gonna go in, grab a crate. Someone spooked me, and I had to.
The sharp pointy bit goes into the other person. Yep,
exactly.
There you go. How does the Good Doctor de-stress? I feel like there's lots of note-taking in my brain, but I could be very wrong.
Yeah, I think if this is our regular ship, whatever amount of space he like is allowed to claim is now covered with like notes, and he has chemistry tools. Somehow there's like a centrifuge like spinning these little vials of blood that he got somewhere. Just a disturbing amount of blood samples as he's writing and like speaking into his some sort of recording device. You hear him talking about like cellular degradation and toxins and symptoms.
So the ship you guys have is what you consider like a fast strike gunboat. It is big enough to have a decent engine that's going to get you where you need to go very quickly. It is built for speed over comfort. There are like beds in the ship. There is a common area. It sounds like the Doctor has taken some of it over for scientific usage. And it's one of those ships that's like, it's not so crammed that you're living on top of each other, but it is not so big that it's comfortable. It's one of those things where it is built for speed, stealth, and cramming as many guns as they could onto something that shouldn't have this many guns. So living quarters were like the third idea. There's rations and enough kitchen space that you could probably live on this thing for like 4 or 5 months uncomfortably, but it's not designed for like nice staid living. Like the one advantage of infiltrating the frigate was the fact that there was so much more room on it. It wasn't as nice, but there was a lot more room. This is, if we're going to be nerdy space about it, this is like half the size of the Millennium Falcon situation. Where the Millennium Falcon had lots of room to stress out, this is about half that size. It's a gunboat. It is, like I said, it is designed for speed, firepower, and infiltration are the three things that it was built for. Comfort is well down on the 33rd list of things on the line. The redundant, anti-EMP systems were built before comfy bed. So it is no Normandy, but it is also probably outgunning the Normandy if you want to get real technical. So we've got the Good Doctor who's made a mini lab with all the mini lab considerations. We've got somebody watching computer screen. And what is Danny up to, Taylor?
Yeah. I assume we have a actual pilot. She's not having to do any sort of flying or anything currently.
I mean, there's probably an autopilot system at this point in time. But
cool.
If you're going to be, it's the three of you. It is the three of you on this gunboat.
Cool. I think Danny is a little joker sometimes and doesn't probably want to entrust the steering wheel to somebody, something, some AI, some program. So is at least sitting there, very much being like a Tesla driver currently, of probably like flipping through like all of the files from the thing while the ship itself is going. But I think spends probably the majority of her time at least sitting in the pilot seat, probably sleeps there pretty frequently, probably does not venture too far from it. So it's just kind of like going through everything that we kind of sent out. Definitely like has a ear to whatever the doctor is mumbling about, to try and like pick it up. Has no idea. But is mostly just probably doesn't know how to relax, so is relaxing by just looking over the work some more. And making sure that the ship keeps shipping.
Relaxation is for people who are not professional soldiers. Relaxation is for people who want to do science.
Yeah. What a waste of time over there.
Yeah,
I've got a computer nerd and a science nerd, and both of them are relaxing right now.
I think in the doctor's mind, like, he's doing his real job now. Like, that other stuff was
He's doing his real job now.
Yeah.
This whole being brought back to life to be a black operative is just how he pays the bills to do the science.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. So all of your communicators, it's about 10-12 minutes after you put in your report, all of your communicators ding, and you hear / if you're at the front of the ship sitting in the cockpit, you'll actually get a display of Kiki, who again looks probably like a near human, possibly like a Promethean, which are a variant of genetically engineered humans in this particular setting. She's got, very like light, hair that starts off brown and moves into a very dark red that's not very natural, and 2 eyes, one of them gold and one of them violet. And again, just very chipper for some odd, like always so chipper. Like, why is someone who is dealing in these things this chipper? Makes you believe she's probably a VI or an AI, but you never know. Maybe she just really likes her job.
Some corporate bullshit.
She congratulates you on a job well done, and lets you know that they'll be reviewing the data, that the weapons crate needs to be dropped off at port when you head back home at one of the dead drops, and to secure it using a particular code and sequence so that it can be retrieved in a particular way. And she directs you back towards one of the stopover ports, Port Vassail, which is in this region of space known as a law adjacent port. And what people mean by that is it's technically a free established port that people can go and engage with, but it isn't really overseen by most of like the regulated government types. It's, for lack of a better term, more of a freebooters port in space where you can find what you need, but as long as you don't ask too many questions, you'll probably get what you want type situation. The moment you get involved in too many people's business, it's kind of a problem. You guys have
port name again?
Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to Versailles, except not French. So it's what happens when French people try to do a thing, and then other species show up and like, nope, Versailles now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it got recolonized. So Port Versailles has a hab block in it that basically have some render rooms. You guys stopped over there probably within your first 6 weeks of being together, and know that there's a safe house there where there's basically a condo where you guys can get rooms and do things and get what you need. You can dock your ship there. You can do all the things you need to do. And you're given the same basic warning about, don't be super disruptive in public. Don't draw all the attention to yourselves. And this has always been kind of weird to you guys because according to everything you've received, you're technically sanctioned by the stellar embodiment of the government, the stellar Congress type situation that goes on in this setting. But it's also along the lines of don't go flashing a badge. So it leaves some of you are like, oh, this is not a big deal. I feel like Danny's probably like, yep, it's Tuesday. I was an operative. You don't ever draw attention to yourself. the good doctor's like, but I'm part of the government. Why can't I do whatever I want? And Ash, how does Ash feel about that? What's Ash's feelings on the keep a low profile?
You know, that was their motto perhaps in a past life was to keep a low profile. So they're completely fine with that. They're, you know, used to that kind of behind the scenes situation, behind a computer, using a wrench to fix up a robot or a drone or something. So keeping a low profile is all they know.
They like the grid to be off of it, even though they love being on the things that are on the grid. All right. So, again, we fly into the spaceport. We dock our ship. We probably change into clothes that are easier to blend into civilian public, not strapping 50 weapons to our backs because we just got done with an op.
I still have 50 weapons. You just can't see
They're just
them.
not visible. Yeah. Like, some of us have replaced all of our limbs with weapons, all right?
And also hidden holsters for weapons that aren't attached to me. It's I'm a freaking Swiss Army knife here, y'all.
Just don't get tased, because then it's awful. Everything flips out at once. Right?
I mean, I think that's a problem for whoever tases me. They're gonna have so many things in their face. Did I get the okay from Boss Man to keep one of these guns?
Do you ask?
Yeah, she does. Taylor doesn't want to, but Danny does. She's by the book. Taylor would say there's 29 guns in this box, but
does she? Oh, so she's by the book. Does she put in a requisition form for it?
Yeah, probably. That's what she was doing. She puts in just fully a request. Lets it go through the system.
Written requisition. She gets the answer that she can keep one. Like literally, she is rewarded for filling out the paperwork. It is very much clear that like, if you follow the procedure to do the thing, you are rewarded with, we only expect there to be 29 rifles. You are keeping one for field. Like, because I assume it's like, want to field test / want to field instruct / want to give observation. Well, these are goodbye for us. Like, you're basically filling out a field testing to keep this equipment in the field. And they're all like, and you get a response back in about 2 to 3 minutes that it's been okayed, and they expect form 76B to be filled out after field test. As a like, it is very like, as your character has done this before as a commando, it's all of that. It's all of that obnoxious paperwork that like most people won't fill out. They'll be like, no, I just take it. But you are just directly rewarded for doing the paperwork. It's very awkward for people around you, but it does reinforce for you what you should be doing and that you are taking the correct path.
I think like my character is if Leslie Knope was a murderer. Like, if Leslie Knope could carry guns and lived a lifetime of war, that's Danny. Whatever organization we work for is the Parks and Rec. Like, she's like, yes, I'm about this.
Yeah, so she fills it out and she gets her requisition form sent back and is informed that she can keep one of these weapons. Don't let it fall. Like, basically, you're responsible for it. Yada, yada, yada. They expect this form to be filled out for requisition. After requisition, they do expect that this may have to be turned in post-requisition because it's a requisition form. It's not in your personal stash. It is in your list of requisitioned weapons, which, if the doctor has seen the list, there's that joke about somebody's like, I want this, and the paper falls out. That is Danny's requisition form listing. Danny has requisitioned more than anybody else on the ship, where you're like, I bought scientific equipment. Danny's like, but you don't have a 3-inch toenail knife. Why do you not have? You could be taken down if you don't have a toenail knife.
There's a story behind that somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you all land the ship. The credits are not deposited on your personal account. The ship has some sort of wired account that clearly is immediately charged its fees. All the appropriate things happen. You dress down and sometimes maybe more or less appropriate for what's going on here. And I assume you head out to drop off this crate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It is not too far down. We're going right to a warehouse on the docks where all shady things occur. As we all know, shady things only ever occur at warehouses, be they in earthbound docks by the sea or in spacebound docks in space. But
universal truth.
Universal truth, yeah. Port Versailles, I almost said Versailles, but Versailles is, what would you consider what happens to a mining asteroid when you're done mining it? When there's nothing to get out of this thing, it's basically an extra body, an extra spatial body. It's been hollowed out. It's been generated an artificial atmosphere inside of here. Some gravity generators have been put in. It's not full like 1G. It's like 1.75, so it's easier to move things around. It's a little lighter, but it's so much so there's still clearly gravity. But it is that weird mix of, if you've ever been to a place that is designed to be half tourist trap and half seedy underbelly. Everything is bathed in that neon glow. Everything has, come see this thing. You can hear that. You can almost hear that shepherd in every store. This is my favorite shop on the Citadel shenanigans. But it's kind of like that. There's celebrity VIs, like in-store posters talking about how this is their favorite place. There's everything from like raunchy, lutish places right next to like, this place sells kitsch, television star autographed memorabilia. But it is all those things kind of rolled into one, next to things that are people who are clearly making important deals. Like, you're seeing people to be officials from like trade groups or other things like that. It is a place you go to meet that is off the books, but air quotes, nice enough that being seen there isn't going to call into question. It's a place where business comes first and everything else comes second. So as long as you're not endangering the business of everybody here, you're fine to be here. The moment you suddenly prove to be bad for business, you might find your way out of an airlock with no spacesuit on. So you all depart from the ship. Who's running point? Who's carrying the big old chest o guns? And who's bringing up the rear?
I feel like I'm probably gonna have to be carrying it. But I also
I mean, it's on a thruster pad. That's how Ash got it here. Like Ash is not somebody who picks up a big crate, throws it on their back, and carries it. Ash put it on the thruster pads from day one, so anybody can push the crate. It's basically on a little anti-grav hover sled.
Beautiful. You don't need my 21 strength, guys. I'm ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
or my 8
all right, put it on the space dolly.
Yeah.
It was on a dolly from day one. That's how it got from engineering to the ship.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably take point with all my
things.
Yeah, with just my general hunter. Keep an eye out, see what's going on, make sure, because I can make sure we get there fast without problems if there's like crowds and stuff,
Okay. So you're gonna run point on this?
If there are no objections, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And who's handling the crate?
This Ash brought the crate, so they'll handle.
Ash is on crate duty once again.
Yeah, I'm on crate duty again.
Mm-hmm. Is the doctor utilizing their disguise, or are they rolling out full red face for everyone to see?
I think in public now, in between missions, he does have the hollow mask on, which his face looks very similar, but is now a shade of blue, so that he looks Eldori instead of Lorendi, whom the Lorendi are an offshoot of. I think he is sort of like trailing behind, keeping an eye out. I think he looks very like composed and calm, but he's also an infiltrator is his like his other skill set. So I think he's sort of slinking in the back, keeping an eye out.
All right, my point person and my person on the rear both give me a perception check.
Okay, guys, this is gonna really set the tone for how bad my dice looks.
This is Taylor's first roll, so Taylor's looking for that big 3.
perception, right?
Yep.
No. Bad. I'll be a 7 for me.
Okay.
Hold on, I have a lot of like you get advantage on perceptions, but I don't think any of them matter because we're not checking any. Let's see.
Yeah.
You're not hunting any of your targets right now. You are just making a.
Yeah, because they're all for the the target, not the terrain. Yeah. Okay. That's an 18. It was a 10. But I have a plus 8 to perception. So middle of the line.
Turns out I rolled a 10. Still got an 18.
Still rolled a 10 though.
Hard on being perceptive. All right. So the good doctor, you're still making recordings, and something catches your eye, and you're talking into your probably whatever earbud-esque recording situation you keep while you're on the move. And you don't, because you're doing this, you don't seem to notice any detailing you or anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Our point person, on the other hand, with their big bad 18, will notice the streets are a little more like the last time you were here, and you know these environments, and you've probably been here before whatever unfortunate incident put you into a state of not alive. Had probably been here a few times because this is a place where you probably had to hunt down targets, and you've been back here since you've been brought back. The streets are a little thicker with people than normal. Like, it is very much the vibe that like there are more people here than there normally are or would be. And because of that, you do manage to catch some eyes on you, not in the sense of like, oh, people know who you are, but more in the sense of, oh, people are moving a crate through the middle of from part of the docks to another part of the docks. And you're pretty convinced you might be being tailed, not because of who you are, but because somebody might want to try to steal something from you.
Yeah. I probably do like some sort of like elaborate but discreet different like kind of hand gesture, scratch the head, do whatever, but it's like only probably makes sense to Ash as it is like drilled into Dindus when they get into the military what all of these hand movements mean. And so that I realize, and then I turn back, someone might be tailing us, follow me. And I want to try and get us to like start doing some evasive maneuvers and maybe do my pass without trace on us and try and like lose a tail in all of this crowd and businesses.
All right. Well, I hear you're casting pass without a trace, or in this case, forging, because this game has reworked the concept of spell casting into a much more techno-babblish, techno-friendly ways. They have kept some of the things you are familiar with from D&D, but they've changed some other stuff and added some really neat powers. We were talking to one before we started, like Shrapnel Cloud, which doesn't really have a D&D equivalent. So if you're checking out the game, check out neat ways to make a character that you normally wouldn't be able to in 5e. Also, check out our Patreon. Boom, boom, boom. Patreon plug. Look at that. Apochromatic Unlimited Patreon plug. Worked that in there.
Heck yeah.
But go ahead and cast Pass Without a Trace, which you don't make a roll for, just do.
Nope, I think just do. So, and I'm assuming we're all within 30 feet of each other still, since we're
correct
around this package.
Yeah, you guys are well within 30 feet of each other. So that's totally fine. After that, I'm not keen on all three of you making a roll. I'm just going to have one of you be the leader and make a stealth roll, and probably the hunter who's leading the group using a bunch of other powers that make it harder for people to track and is designed to guide you all through these city streets. And instead of being like, somebody can fail because you can't follow instructions, seems really lame to me. So Taylor.
It'd still be plus 10. So it'd be failing upwards a little.
It would be, but you're clearly directing this using all of your skills and ability, which apply to the group and not just one person. So I'm going to go ahead and, yep.
Oh, real quick. Well, no, because I don't know necessarily anyone's tailing us. I just have the vibe. Never mind.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Let's
give me your stealth plus
the
10 for pass.
Plus a 15 total. So
there you go.
And that was a 19 on the die. I'm not doing that math. That's a lot.
34.
Cool.
I do that math all the time. I got you.
Thanks. I can't.
With a
I'm gay. I
34,
can't math.
I apparently the only thing that I'm good as a straight person for is breeding and math. That's what I've learned. But all right, so we got a 34. You're gonna lose if you were being tailed. You're losing whoever you're losing. You guide them through the alleys. You guide them through the side streets. You double back on yourself. You move. You shimmy up a drain pipe. You do all the ridiculous things that would cause people not to be able to find you, and you get back through the docks to where you're supposed to drop this crate off at this particular spot. And what you're met by at this particular spot is basically Doman security experts. It's basically a warehouse for a security company, which, you know, based upon what has happened, these people basically ship automatons, but they're also a front for whoever you're working for inside the government. This isn't the first time you've dropped them off here. These locations are dead drops. They're also really secure, and there also are a lot of robots here. So if somebody did do something foolish enough to try to do anything to you right here, right now, that would be an arguable death sentence, because they're going to scan you. The three of you are going to ping as appropriate people who are supposed to be here. You're going to drop off a crate, and then a bunch of robots are going to take it from there. It's one of those situations where there is probably not another flesh and blood being within a block of what you're about to do type situation. Like, you hit this area, it gets kind of quiet. The lights kind of like, the lighting goes down because robots don't need lights. They have cameras and night vision. So it's just dark. People don't want to be here. You drop off a crate. It's very tense isn't the right word, but disquieting is probably the correct phrase.
Yeah.
Because it's dark. You can see like the mono eye of like a 7.5 foot tall robot, which probably doesn't have hands but guns instead. They kind of pan around. You can easily tell where there are other cameras with like crossing fields of view. There may or may not be automated turrets around here. But by security solutions, they mean murder. You drop off the crate. You are issued a receipt for dropping off the crate. So it looks real legal.
One of my holsters is just like filled with paperwork.
Receipts.
Like one of my hidden like compartments is all the paperwork we need each mission.
Hell yeah. In case you need to quick draw them. Just
Yeah.
I brought receipts.
Look, I also have a lot of forgery skills. They are gonna come in handy. We're gonna need these receipts eventually.
Eventually. There you go. So you had that, and you get your receipt sent, and you kind of just have the rest of the evening, or at least the next 48 to 72 hours to yourselves. Like, you haven't been issued you were told to drop this off and head to the safe house, and it's kind of what you guys want to do for a day or three. You have some downtime. These things do happen. They don't run you ragged, but what do you do with that downtime? You're kind of in what some may consider a party town. The doctor could go out looking for things. You definitely could find parts to build a robot if you wanted to, Ash. Or you could go to the shooting range for Danny. There's lots of options here to find in this particular place. There's lots of trouble to get into in the next 48 to 72 hours, depending on what you want to do. But it's one of those moments where you realize the job's kind of done again, because they don't give you instructions. They're not like, go wait. They're like, stay in this area until we activate you again type situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They expect you to be responsible adjacent adults, end quote. So it's one of those interesting moments, like when a soldier has downtime, or a scientist is like, I guess I could go back to my beakers and vials, or I could go looking for love. I don't know what you want to do.
We're gonna figure out who Danny is as she goes. At first it's gonna be very like sullen, stoic, all about the job. But now that I have Leslie Knope in my head, now I think it's all about the company and teamwork. So I don't know what's happening. What is my cat doing? Maybe we'll like go to like the safe house first, just to make sure if there is any sort of tail we're like kind of secured before like having the conversation. But I think maybe while everyone's kind of getting settled and whatever our general situations are, Daniel will just kind of walk out very stiff, very not cool, and like let's go party, but does kind of come out and say, it seems that there are lots of activities to do on this port. People are everywhere. But I think that is a good thing in this sense. Maybe we should go mingle. We can call it some team building.
Mingle. We're already a team. What are we building?
Trust and camaraderie amongst ourselves. Also possibly at the cost of other people, depending on what mingling we do. And I know you like that.
Well, I am curious as to what this port has to offer in a chemical sense. So yes, I guess I can mingle.
Wonderful. Ash?
Can we stop at they kind of look awkward. They're like, I have like they'll pull out like a list. I have a list of parts that I'd like to see if I'm starting to. Can we make a robot supply store trip and maybe at the end or in the middle, and then I'll go wherever.
I mean, that sounds fine to me. Maybe we go on a bit of a shopping spree. I'm sure we need groceries in here. It's very poor ration choices.
Oh yeah, it's all free dry rations. If you want actual food, you're gonna have to go shopping. It is very much like the utilitarian protein bar. Definitely will keep you full. It will not satiate hunger.
I feel like there is like one specific protein bar of that's like birthday cake flavor, and it's like not great, but it is Danny's favorite, and she has already grabbed them all.
Shitty situation.
Yeah, she's grabbed all of them from this cabinet and stuffed it under her bed. Like she has claimed them.
It is the one ready to eat ration that Danny likes, is what we've learned. It's the birthday cake protein bar.
Yeah, it's essentially a Cliff Bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the doctor's definitely like one of those guys that does like Huel, like meal replacement, like just like, oh, food is just fuel, and just drinks this like disgusting shake like thing that has the nutrients.
Is it that or like the finest dining? Or those are the only two things he eats? Because that's also the vibe I get, is like I only eat the rarest, most fine meals or Huel.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The
vibe is I want the best steak available in this port, or bring me Huel. One or the other. There is no other.
Yeah.
Look, the banana pudding Huel, I've got it. It's great. Let me just say.
It's no
also,
hot
hello,
pocket
readers. Welcome, Entropy. We're about to go do stupid shit, I imagine.
Oh man, we are currently in a spaceport, and our reanimated commandos have downtime, so nothing bad can possibly happen.
We're going to go mingle.
I feel like this is like Space Reno.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe. That's the vibe I'm going for. It's Space Reno. It's trying to be a family place, but it's not. It's not a family place still.
Yeah.
Like it's not full blown Space Vegas. That's a whole other place. But so we're going. So do we look up robot shops, or are we just going to start ducking into robot shops on the way?
I look up. I got a map up. I've marked exactly where I'd like to go.
This is itemized per store and what we need.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I feel like I can define each one of these characters as a type of serial killer, and clearly Ash is the prepared killer in the group. Like that's what we know.
Yeah.
Danny is the spree killer. But
I
yes.
mean, that crime of convenience, maybe a little
Yep.
of both.
A little bit of both. Like, and the doctor is the impulsive plan, so both. He just like, oh, this science. But yeah. So, are we starting off by hitting the robot shops for Ash, and then moving to
Yeah, I think robot
Other
shops,
places?
groceries, drop it all off.
Yeah, and I think what the doctor wants to do, and we'll explain to you all, like, he is fascinated with like chemicals, ampules, which are potions in this world. So I think he's going to look for substances like that, whether they are legal or not, and he wants to
There's-
experiment with them.
legal is the best gray area for this place. Again, we're back to this idea of like everything is legal until it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Perfect.
until somebody's causing a problem, everything is technically legal. Okay. Let's see. So what is the first stop on the robot list? Is it like surplus parts? Are you looking for like a chassis?
I think I'm mostly looking for surplus parts at this point. But if there's any special, anything that seems potentially not able to get anywhere else, I'm kind of looking out for that special something. But if there's nothing here, I'm just getting regular supply parts.
Okay, cool. So you kind of arrive at the first place, and you guys kind of come to the door, and the door chimes as you walk in. It's not in the nicest part of town, and everybody give me a quick insight check.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. 10 total. I rolled the 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you got
Highs
it.
and lows.
Mm-hmm.
Insight 25.
Okay, sweet.
17.
So for our 10, it's awkward in here, but you can't put your finger on it. For our 17, you're like, oh, this is clearly a bad exchange that is happening between somebody behind the counter and 3 individuals in the front of the counter. For the doctor, you realize you have walked in on somebody shaking somebody down for protection money. Like you are just that is the scenario you have walked into. You see it, you've seen it a dozen times, you know what you're walking into at this exact moment. Like you have literally interrupted a shakedown.
Has anyone noticed us, or are they looking at us in any way?
I mean, the door chimes, so they're like the guy on the out of the 3, one of the dudes is like that's doing the shakedown is looking at you. The person behind the counter still looks kind of panicked because they're being shaken down. So they haven't really engaged yet. For Ash, you're like, this isn't right. Like, this isn't right. This isn't like what you should be seeing here. You can tell something is really off. You can tell the 3 people on your side of the counter are way more aggressive than they should be. This is not a good situation, and it could get bad. The doctor's like, this is a shakedown. This is a Tuesday. I know what this looks like.
Yeah.
Like,
I will discreetly let them know that that's what's happening.
okay.
From what I can tell, does it seem like we'll be in danger if we stick around, or are we just going to be like?
It depends on if you it really depends on if you engage. If you're just like you watch it happen and don't care, then you'll watch it happen and don't care. If you are like, you need to stop this, they could try to muscle up on you, or you could try to influence them to leave through social means because they got stopped in the middle of a shakedown. So now there are witnesses, and it's a little awkward because it's not like it's three random people, but it's 3 random people, and that is even odds. And people who are shaking people down don't like even odds. They like to have the numbers game. That's the whole point of a shakedown, is like we're scarier, there are more of us. It's that bully mentality, that bully strategy. You like, if you want to try to assess them, that's a whole other situation. But you can definitely assess that, like, you could try to socially get them to leave without finishing, or you could just sit and watch and it'll play out how it plays out and you don't have to do anything. Like, you're not morally obligated to do anything in this scenario.
Yeah. I think Oryx lets them know that it's a shakedown, probably just like with a word. But his body language is very like leaning back, like I'm not gonna get involved.
Ash goes right to looking through parts, unbothered.
I just go lean on the counter. It's probably up to like my shoulders, but I'm like, I don't say anything. I'm just like, we are a presence in this store now, the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Okay. There is a moment of like off-puttingness where like the three people shaking them down don't know what to do. This person just kind of walked up to like, because you walk up like the sales counter and just kind of put your elbow on it, right?
Yeah. The general area where the shakedown's happening, I have put myself in that area calmly.
You have chosen to interject yourself into the situation.
I'm still near the exit, just like just leaning against the wall.
And Ash is shopping like it doesn't. Like it doesn't.
Like, whatever. It's none of my business.
You got a basket.
Is it trying to protect this guy? Is it she's kind of likes fighting people? Is it she wants to make sure we can buy the things we're here to buy?
Mm-hmm.
A little of all of
it. Sure.
Mostly
it is that moment of like weirdly off-put, like they're like in the middle of the shakedown, but they're like they kind of square up a little bit more. Like one of them turns to directly face you and kind of does the thing where they like move their hand to like their side to show they've got a weapon, but like they're not directly engaging Danny. They're just kind of like doing the thing where they're keeping a direct line of sight on Danny. And for the first time, the shop owner like realizes there are other people in the store now. Like they were very focused on the three people shaking them down, and now they're like, oh, there are more people here. And it's this weird interaction of like they look and try to like gauge what's going on with Danny and the other people. Like, are they gonna help them? Are they not gonna help them? And it's that moment of like
indication at all to either party.
We're just here.
Exactly. You just made it weird. You made it awkward. You managed to make this criminal activity awkward, and that's the best way you can describe it. You've officially made it weird.
We're heroes.
Not all heroes wear capes. And by that I mean you're not really being heroes right now. You're just making it weird.
Not all heroes wear capes or help people.
Or help people. Yeah, exactly. So the exchange continues. It's really awkward. The shopkeeper's looking like at Danny, and then back to the people shaking them down, and then at Danny, and then back to the people shaking them down. And Danny's not like in line to shake them down again, right? You're just kind of interjecting. You're not like making it like there's about to be a second shakedown after the first shakedown.
We'll see how well the first one would. If they get a lot, I might try. No, I mean, I will say I am clearly eyeing whoever's the leader of the shakedown more than I am the like other two or the shopkeep. Just kind of keeping an eye. Yeah, I mean, it's more of a she wants to make it so awkward that they just leave or throw punches.
Sure. You are trying to direct an outcome at this time. You would like
because I am not going to make a scene, but I will finish a scene. I was told by our higher ups to stay on the down low, but I'm not going to not protect myself, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're always going to argue self-defense. I hear you.
Yes.
Didn't matter that you might have been talking shit.
That's off the record.
Yep. Sure.
Trying to figure out how waggle of the eyebrows, like, what are you doing, bud? But I can't do them, but imagine them, you know.
What is Ash just shopping normally, or is Ash like shopping and then coming up to the middle of the shakedown to like try to check out? Because I think
I come up to completely like, are you guys in line? Are you gonna get the stuff you need, or what's going on here?
Are you guys in line?
I feel when you play the "Are you guys in line" card, it breaks the scene. It breaks that moment of awkward into being upset. Like they go from being awkward about this to like legitimately being upset about it. Like we are trying to do criminal activity here, and you are acting like we are not scary. We're trying to do crime, and it is not working right now. It's kind of the vibe.
Is there like tall shelves here? Like, can I break line of sight? Or
yeah, you can break line of sight.
They're
not really paying attention to you. They have these two. They have these two dentists, and anybody who knows dentist culture knows that dentists fight. Like they've been fighting most of the history of their planet. So they're like, they know they're dealing with, like, you can make the joke about dentists being short because dentists are classically around 5 foot, between 5'1" and 5 foot. Like a 5'6" dentist is tall. So they're like in that lower 5 feet range. So like, but they also know that like mandatory military service dentists, like all of them fought. They all may have signed up for murder hoboing. So it's really awkward when you run into ones that are kind of picking fights because they get the vibe that like they might actually be picking fights. So there's this brief moment because you like can easily jump at a line of sight. You didn't draw any attention yourself. You weren't doing this thing.
So I'm gonna like break line of sight. I'm gonna activate my light refractor, which makes it even harder to see me. And I'm like circling around them. I'm like, trying to watch from like a hidden point. Yeah,
you're setting yourself up to do maybe some stealthy shenanigans. I hear this. So I think at the time that Ash is like, "Are you guys gonna buy something or not?" Like at that exact moment, they turn on Ash and they're like, "Are you serious right now? Like we are conducting business." And you see the shop owner like shake their head because the guy has finally turned his back to him. Like, no, they're not. And like mouths the word discount at Ash. Like
discount. I don't say that out loud, but they're very discount motivated. So they're just like, I think if you guys had business, it might have taken less time than what's taking right now. And yeah.
So it's very TikTok-y. All right.
If they've turned their back to look at Ash, so they've turned their back on me.
The leader has turned his back on the owner to look at Ash because they came up and said, "Are you ready to buy something?"
Yeah,
and
I'm like up on the bar by the like owner.
Yeah, the one that squared up to you is still looking directly at you. They're not so bad that they've started turning their backs on people.
Okay. Well, at least in the main dude.
As you two are dentists and have years of combat experience, they are clearly people who are street smart and are not turning their backs to people they might be in a fight in. But they are also not trained commandos. Like these are clearly street level hooligans that do street level hooligan crime. On a scale of 1 to in your league, they're way under your league. All right, like.
As soon as that, like when the leader turns to mention, I'm ignoring the guy squaring up to me because I was more concerned about the one holding the civilian, or like being in the range there with the civilian. So flavor, but also I think I could actually do this, us being such high level, because I have 2 attacks in a turn, and I'm also a brawler, and also so many other things. Can I just like kick him really fucking hard in the back of the knee and then jump like as he kind of like hopefully buckles a little, because that's like improvised attack 1 or brawling attack 1. The second one is I jump really fucking high because his height at least, and just grab his head and slam it onto the table in front of
the counter.
Yeah, on the counter.
Sure, if you want to. I mean, you definitely can. You can definitely just say, "I'm surprised attacking this person, and we're breaking the tension and going into combat."
Yeah, if like they're just gonna keep like. I know between me and Ash, we don't have the charisma to talk them out.
We're not talking our way. We're gonna fix this dentist style. We're not talking our way out of this situation. We are
so I just kick him in the back of the knee and then smash his head down onto the counter.
Sure. Go ahead and give me your 2 attack rolls, and then we'll roll initiative.
Absolutely. I would love to do this.
We can
I just
totally
do like my
that.
strength and everything, right? For unarmed.
Yeah,
Or is it so plus my strength and proficiency because I'm a brawler?
Yep, strength proficiency. Yep.
Maybe my streak is broken because the first one's an 18 plus 9.
Okay, you definitely hit a 27 on the street thug. Congratulations. You've hit a 27 on a street thug. For your second attack, what would you like to do?
Yeah. That was taking his knee out, I guess. Or if it could all be one, the take the knee and the slamming is the first.
It's two separate attacks because you want
Okay.
to do it with 2 attacks, so it's two separate sources of damage.
Okay, that one's not as high, but I think it'll still be fine. It's a 15 total.
You're fine. You're fine to hit him on a 15.
Cool,
Are you breaching this second one now that you've hit twice?
What is breaching?
Your special ability from Vanguard where you get to add a D8 to your damage once per turn.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because I did think about Hunter's marking him too, but I don't have time for that. Well, I've already rolled really well on at least the improvised attack because it's just a D4 since I'm brawler. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm right.
Brawler. Did you take the brawler beat? I thought you took something else.
Maybe it's breacher I'm thinking of then. I thought we took brawler.
You did not.
Oh no,
brawler.
we switched for demolitionist. That's right.
Yeah.
So
breacher is just a D8 extra damage. So you 5 on the first attack, 5 and plus a D8 on the second attack. Sorry, 6. Yeah, no, 5, and a D8 is what you're
5, and then it was also a 5.
So 15 damage on a street thug in one round. Do you want to use your bonus action heavy weapons attack to attack a third time in this turn? I just figured I would ask because it's there.
You know, why not? They're all. Does that mean I have to attack the same person, or could I hit the thug that's looking at me real quick? Since they're all close.
I mean, you could hit the one that's looking at you. I don't believe the bonus attack. I believe it's when you make an attack action, you can add a bonus. You can do a bonus attack. It's not the same target.
Beautiful.
Well, you know what? I have the book right here. Let's double check super fast because rules be important, yo.
Yeah.
While we're checking, yes, this particular character is an engineer. Everyone's some levels of engineer. Turns out engineer real versatile, and you can play everything from a medic to a murder hobo when you engineer. It's real awkward. Like you can build machines or you can break bones. It's very interesting.
I love Tripp's comment. Team building, she said. We are. This is probably the most team building thing we could do.
Yeah.
This is the most team building team for this team, I feel.
This is the most the most time we've spent together.
Yeah, no, you just make an additional attack, so you're good to go.
Real full. Yeah, I'm gonna just like crack the hand of the one that's like, I've got a weapon. I'm just like just try and obliterate his hand as flavor. I mean, but I'm hitting him there. Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
And you're fine. Yeah. You hit him for 5. So yeah, you strike out and you're like boom, boom, smash, and then you like smash the other one in the hand real fast. And we're in combat, like for real. So everybody else should roll initiatives because it was like pop off at that point in time. Like,
I do get advantage on initiative. I do remember this. No, I have my advantages up. And that's plus.
Hey.
Initiative is plus 5 for you.
22.
22. All right. What else we got?
Also 22.
Also 22. How quick is Ash going?
I got a 12.
Got a 12. All right.
You gotta put your basket down first.
Yeah, I got
You did
it.
put your basket down. So, Owen, as Taylor has already gone and smashed some faces in, and that's the way this has started to happen. You've seen it happen now. As you're invisible with having maneuvered yourself around, it is your turn.
Yeah, how do these guys look? I'm trying to see like how hardy they are.
Surprised. They look real surprised. They went from conversation to random violence real quick.
Okay.
But how they look is like you've seen this type before now that you've been in the rest of the universe and are no longer part of the greater commonwealth of your people who are organized and don't have these crime problems because you have a benevolent ruler, as you know. Thick with sarcasm. We'll deal with that in a little bit. These are some street thugs that look like they're probably low-level dudes who are here to shake down somebody for probably somebody higher up the food chain type situation.
Okay.
They are not super skilled combatants, but they are definitely like the type of people who do violence on a regular basis.
Okay.
They are uncultured violence doers.
Okay. I think like looking at their injuries, like I'm trying not to like insta kill them. So
only 2 of them have been injured. There is one that has not been attacked yet.
okay. I will go to the one who's been attacked. I will pull out my combat knife. And I'll try to do a non-lethal if I can.
With a knife, are you hitting with like the back of the
Like-
knife, the
like
pommel?
yeah, like
Your
the pommel to his
striking him?
temple.
Sure,
If I
you can
could, like-
pommel. I'll let you pommel strike him.
And could I get a sneak attack on this or deft attack?
You definitely have combatant friends that are within 5 feet, so yeah.
Okay. Let's see. All right, we'll do that.
Because right now Danny is like in between 2 of them. Like that's what Danny did. Danny was like, nope, I'm here, and we're in between these 2, and I'm already throwing blows.
Oof. 10 to hit.
The 10 will not hit though.
Okay.
They are better than a 10 defense.
All right. Well, I miss with that. Shit. And I will look at Ash. I've now revealed myself.
Do you have a forging item you might want to bonus cast you could throw in there, or you got nothing else, or
Are
we moving on?
No, let's move on. I don't. There's
Okay,
nothing.
you're like, I'm not wasting tech slots on these fools.
Yeah.
All right. So the one that has had their face smashed in will go next. He is not down or out, but is very unhappy about the fact that they just got pummeled a bunch and did not know what happened. Oh, nope, you're doing something?
Yes. I will have a bonus action, intuitive action. So I can use my cunning action for this because I am a specialist, which is a rogue. The person that I just tried to hit and failed, I will use intuitive action. So if they try to melee attack me, they'll have disadvantage. And if they miss, then I will get advantage on my next attack against them as I'm sort of like reading them.
Cool. All right, and this is the one that the second one that Danny attacked, or the first one that Danny attacked? There was the leader. There was the first one Danny attacked, and then there was the first henchman that Danny attacked on their bonus action.
Whichever one I just tried to hit.
You get to pick between those 2 because you said whichever one was already damaged, and those were the 2 that were damaged. We didn't really specify.
Okay. I'll say the whichever one looked more damaged, I think.
The leader. The leader got
then yeah, I'll try to hit the leader.
The leader got pummeled. They're very upset, and they're kind of raging out at the person closest to them. You are still kind of blurry, all invisible fieldy, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
I also have a displacer band, which means people have disadvantage to try and hit me.
Sure.
But if I take damage, it's disabled for a while.
That's cool. They're gonna strike out at the random dentist that they can see clearly that already punched them and is not throwing kung fu kicks. And the 6 will totally not hit, so they're gonna whiff real bad.
I just have like my basic ass armor jacket on, since it would look obvious to have the scary fancy armor. So it's not.
No, we made that an infiltrator. Actually, no, that doesn't, because we made that an infiltrator suit. You changed it from being big and bulky.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. I'm still a badass.
No, you changed that too. Taylor made a lot of changes to this character. Taylor was originally going to be like, I want to be the tiniest Krogan, and Taylor was like, I like all of these changes that make me stealthy and murder ho-ho-ish. The next one goes on a 19, and I'm going to say the one that was super surprised and has not been attacked yet is like, somebody who's invisible. They've already jumped and attacked my person. Yeah, no, they're done. They head to the side exit. They don't get. They're not this gangster. They're halfway crook. So they're gonna run for it and go and tell their boss that random vigilantes are beating them up now or something. Yeah, and then the last one, who's already been attacked, is going to attempt to attack back and swing at you as well, Taylor, and miss because I rolled a 5. So, yep, those just aren't happening. And now it is Ash's turn.
You know,
Oh, I didn't go for real, for real.
Yeah, but you kicked off the combat with surprise.
Oh, does that get rid of your first turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it does right now because you going for real again on a 22 build. Real silly.
Works for me.
Mm-hmm. So it is Ash's turn with Ash's shopping basket of stuff and a dude who's two dudes that have pulled a knife and really been bad at trying to hit Danny. This is really the extent of what has happened here.
You know, I'm not very good in close hand-to-hand combat, so I might, I might step away and try to use paralyzer on them so they can't move anymore. Just to be
Fair
over
enough.
with it.
Fair enough. Which one are you casting paralyzer on?
I'm gonna cast it on the leader because even though he's more hurt, I'm more scared of him.
Sounds good. I believe that's a wisdom saving throw, if I remember correctly.
Let me check for you. Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. Hey, that's better. I'll take my +2 over my +0. So I have rolled with a +2 and 18. Is that better or worse than your save? Because I know you have some stuff that increases your save.
Yes, I do. Give me 1 second. I think, unfortunately, that is better than my save.
Oh, all right then. Haha, apparently he is a very scary leader and has not been resisted by your ability to paralyze him, but is definitely freaked out by the fact that you're like throwing forge powers around already and doesn't know what to do with that. So feels real out of his league now. All right. And we're back up to the top of the round. I should roll one more initiative because I think the shopkeeper is going to get involved now.
Hell yeah.
Okay. There we go. All right. So we're back to, I believe Danny has the better dex score out of the two player characters. So it is to you, Taylor.
Cool. I forgot that was my name. Yeah. One guy's running.
One guy's running. He's like, nope, I'm not dealing with this. Then this mad dentist jumped over the counter and started attacking us. Is the myth and the rumor at this point in time.
How much should we be worried about the like criminal underbelly of the city? Should we be like stopping him and threatening him, or
That's
like
up to you? That's the choice you need to make.
I mean, but is it like like is this like Omega where they're gonna like make our lives hell because they're big, or is it like this is just a local crime syndicate vibes?
It depends on how high up the chain things go, probably. Depends on escalation. It depends on how much you want to control the narrative.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, I wasn't gonna kill any of these people anyway. I was just gonna knock them out and hope they forgot about us. So I'll let them keep running, and I'll just finish off the bros in here. So yeah, I think I also want to keep doing just like non-lethal.
Well, you're just doing fisticuffs.
Yeah, because I mean I have like a combat knife, but
no point with the stabbings. All right.
Yeah. Can you still do unlethal, whatever words are blending?
Subdual is the usual word for the system.
The what?
Non-lethal damage. Subdual or non-lethal damage is what you use inside 5e.
I can still stab him and hurt him enough, but not like kill him with the stab, right?
Depends on how much stab you do. If you stab too much stab, it will kill somebody outright if they don't have enough hit points left. Even if they're mostly full of subdual. It comes down to how much damage you do in one big attack. If you do too much damage, you just obliterate them because their HP total is not equal to what you do. Yeah, there is a possibility, depending on how hard you swing, you could just decapitate a fool.
But if I swing hard with just my fist, it's just gonna knock him out. It'll for sure be.
Yeah, you can just be like, I would like to do subdual with my punch and then my fisticuffs. Yes, that is correct.
Okay. I'll keep going on the leader guy in front of me. Cool. Oh, actually, hey,
We've
Yes.
unactually already.
I'm gonna
now.
throw my hunter's mark on that guy so I can have some advantages to try and see where the fuck he went later.
Okay. So you're gonna bonus action to Hunter's mark the guy that's running away.
Yep. And then
So
I'm just gonna punch the
you can
boss
Batman
in front of
later.
me
All right,
twice.
Jack.
Team bonding.
Team
That's
bonding.
a nat one on my first punch.
All right. Then he ducks out of the way of your first punch.
I'm like, how do you duck my punches? You're so much taller than me. And then the next one's a natural 20.
All right, cool.
So I guess.
Let's
Is that just
go.
5 times 2?
I assume you're breaching on the second one, so you can roll 2d8 damage because you can't roll any damage on the
Can
first.
I?
You don't roll
I thought I
first.
could only do that once.
You do that once per round.
Oh,
Yeah, it's once per round.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just once per turn.
I was getting confused with that one and then my thing where I get advantage on people that haven't acted. Okay, cool. That's a 7. So 14 plus 10, 24 punch right in the balls.
Yeah, he collapses on very unconscious. Yeah. He's not hanging out with you any longer.
Okay. And then I just crack my knuckles. Square up to the other guy, but it's the end of my turn.
Mm-hmm. All right. Other dude is like just watched you knock him out. So if you would like to take your attack of opportunity, you can as he tries to run outside of your reach because he's not gonna hang out and fight anymore.
Absolutely.
You beat up the leader. This is a hierarchical society. They're immediately collapsing under the weight of you beating up the leader.
Yeah. Oh god, that jumped out of my thing. That's 16 plus 9. So just
all right, 25 definitely hits. They have 14 ACs. They're not gods or anything.
Yeah. Just kind of kick him right in the
He does
in the
not
back
crumple, but he is not where he wants to be in life.
Yeah. Make him stumble a bit. It probably tore his ACL a bit with that kick.
I completely forgot. Oh, and you actually go first. So if you would like to stab this dude before he tries to run away, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No worries. If I could non-lethal again with this knife.
You can try to pommel strike this dude.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Nat 16. So.
Yeah, you hit him. Yep.
And if it counts as a sneak attack,
it does.
I'm gonna do let's see. Sorry, what's it? For damage, I'm adding dex or proficiency. Is it
dex?
Just dex, right?
Yeah, the proficiency goes on the to hit.
Okay.
Plus.
Proficiency goes to hit unless you have something that adds it to damage. There are a couple things that let you do that, but not very often.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be 10 damage.
10. All right. So when Taylor clocks him when he goes to run away, he will collapse as well because they don't have a lot of hit points. They're goons.
Oh yeah. Bonk.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. The what would Ash like to do? Because technically there's still a dude who just ran out the door, so you can give chase if you want, or you can let him go, or
I'm not running after this guy. I'm gonna be complete. You know, he can run.
I don't give foot chases. That's fair.
Not to a goon.
Not to a goon. What's a goon to a goblin? That's what they say. So at this point in time, we can mostly end the combat because the shop owner finally pulls out a what is probably the equivalent of a space shotgun from under the counter. But they were really unprepared to use it when they were 3-on-1. But now that the odds are way more in their favor, they're like, I'm packing. But they kind of don't point it at anybody and point it up toward the ceiling as you've now knocked out all the dudes. And they're like very thankful and grateful. And her name is Henrietta, and she gives you a nice big discount. So you managed to get a couple of the parts you need. Also, she's asking if you're looking for anything in particular.
I ask her if there's she either sells or she knows of anyone that might sell something you just I just use the word unique or hard to find, not in so many words perhaps.
her eyes get big and kind of that like what type of hard to find? Because you get the vibe now, like there's a difference between hard to find custom items, maybe possibly fetish items, versus hard to find weapons and hard to find other
I'm
things.
trying to build a murder robot, so
they don't know what you're trying to build. They don't know if you're trying to build a sex bot or a murder bot. They're kind of
It's
like
probably 50-50 for everyone that walks in this place, you know?
yeah.
I'm for the murder robot.
They don't know. This is the first time they've met you,
It's
and
true.
you beat somebody up. They don't know what's going down. You have friends that start fights because they assume the dentists are all friends. Is based upon the interactions.
I love starting fights, and I love building sex robots too. No,
Taylor, I'm gonna need you to clip that later.
Yes, no, I'm trying to build a murder robot. So, weapons, unusual shields, perhaps.
She will let you know that one of the reasons that there are a lot of people in town right now is there is supposed to be some crazy auctions on rare items in the near future. And that you could look into that if you can get an invitation.
Put a pin in that.
Interesting.
So that is the situation with the other situation involving this situation. But you get a discount. They're going to give it to you at half price. They also let you know some people do have some other shielding and some other weapons that are cooler. But like, if you're looking for really unique stuff,
this is my long-term project. This is like the pinnacle of all murder robots.
No, it's fine. It's cool. You now have a plot hook, as well as someone you can go Batman if you would like to go Batman and just beat up the criminal underworld for the next 2 to 3 days. I don't know if that's the new plan. That was not the plan when I started this game, based on how gray every character concept was. But it turns out there's a side hustle for the Bat family involved in this situation.
Maybe. I will say, Danny did slip out of the store after the fight was done, probably drug the bodies out, just like kind of sits them off to the side, like they'll wake up in a minute. But my pass without trace is still up because I didn't take any damage, so I didn't lose my concentration on it. I just wanna stick to the shadows and kind of tail this guy, try and kind of figure out where at least he's going. Like, I'm not interacting with anybody or anything. I'm just kind of getting an idea.
Give me that tracking survival check with the advantage on your target that's been hunters marked.
Yes, I can. No, it jumped out. That die was doing me good. Come back. Oh, shit. All right. Oh, okay. This die did me all right. My survival tracking is +5, so that's mean 24.
You needed a 12. You're good. He's a street thug. He's also not trying to hide and doesn't understand that he's being low-jacked, so he ran. This is not like he's trying to do certain things. So you very clearly can track him down. Can you give me your stealth check for yourself to remain in the shadows? I know you don't take movement penalties based upon your hunter shenanigans.
I do not. I am actually actively tracking someone now. And with my the know your whatever gives me one thing, but the favored quarry gives me a whole category, which is just humanoids.
It's a type you pick in subtype of humanoids. Usually a species is what it's in
the subtype, unless I'm reading it wrong, because I think the subtype was the first level, but that level 6, it was like you pick the category.
Oh, well then, Shanette, let me double check that. You might be completely right.
Unless I'm like reading it wrong, because
I'm double checking right now.
Give me great categories on it. So, yeah, choose a creature type available from the know your target feature. You gain all the benefits for the chosen cord that you would normally get against one. And then
you super legit. You do that upgrade at level 6 is really good. So welcome to tracking humanoids. Welcome to being
all
a bounty hunter.
humanoid?
I'm a bounty hunter, y'all.
Hunter is so much better than Ranger. Let me be abundantly clear
That's
here.
crazy.
Very great. That's 18 plus 15.
Yeah, no, you manage to be all the stealthy. You blend into the shadows. You also gain a gravelly voice and can say "swear to me" really loud.
Swear to me.
Swear to me. And you basically track him like running. I wouldn't say running scared, but definitely overly concerned into a nightclub. Do you want to pursue into the nightclub? Do you want to meet up with everybody else after murder robot parts are gotten? Do you want to stalk the nightclub as they go buy food? What are you looking to do in this moment? Because this was turning into a space game, but it's about to turn into Bad Boys 1.
I think I'll just send my grocery list over to Ash. It's not extensive. And then I'll send a pin of like where I am. I'm just like, I'm just outside. Just checking on. Maybe I'll like hop in for a little drink. I don't know. We'll just see what's going on. No, but I'm mostly just gonna like keep an eye, see if I can see any like obvious other shady shit going on, like if it's specifically like the back room something's going on, or if it's actually like the store next
I'm
door,
gonna run the shopping trip and we can come back to your nightclub adventure here in a moment.
Yeah, I'm just waiting until they're done shopping and come join me.
I figured that was gonna happen. So shopping, you've now bought all your robot parts. You have a lead on this other thing that your Danny bounced out the club as she dragged out bounced out the store as she dragged two unconscious bodies and then took off into the night. You have some sort of weird dentist signal in the artificial roof of the asteroid, and Danny disappeared. Batman. And you guys are now been forwarded a shopping list. So what would you like to do about this shopping list / getting groceries?
This was all my plan. I hate shopping.
She just sent us her chores to do.
No, it's things like radishes of a particular type, a particular area, and like
it looks like I'm gonna make y'all a really nice taco dinner later. But
space tacos even.
Yeah, space tacos.
Dentist space tacos, the most delicious. It's adapted from dentist walking tacos because dentist had never mind that got real dark. Let's not. War turn species with walking tacos does not feel like where we need to go right now. All right. So you have a shopping list. Are we going to go hit you found most of your robot parts here? You have a lead on where to get other big robot parts. I don't think we need to hit on the robot part store unless that's something you really want to do.
No. I got my lead.
Do you look up like grocery stores, or do you, because you're a planner, so I assume Ash has now looked up all the grocery stores and
we've got the grocery, the true part of Ash is like I've mapped out every grocery store and the prices with all the store discounts.
And I feel I could be wrong, Owen, but I feel the doctor is vetoed to go to the swankiest grocery store that will have the most expensive things, full stop.
I feel like the doctor doesn't care enough to help with planning, so he will follow Ash.
I assumed Ash was like, here's the list, and you're like, this is the one with all the expensive things. We're going there. I felt that's how the conversation went. I could be wrong. You could be like, I don't care. Take us to the grocery store.
I mean, if you bring back the receipts, Danny will expense it to the company. She will do the paperwork.
Danny will expense this to the government.
Government supplied radishes. Yeah, I think I think he is following Ash. I think his mind is looking for drugs, essentially. He was looking for healing ampules, but also like chemicals, poisons, recreational drugs. Like, what does this city have?
Sure. Fair enough. I'm going to tie in drugs at the club because that's going to be way easier.
Yeah, maybe the the answer is like it's all at the club.
So, what grocery store does Ash pick the one with like the best discount and is signed
Yeah, I would like
up
to go to
for
Space
like a discount
Aldi,
online?
please.
Yeah,
What did you say?
Space Aldi.
yeah. So you arrive at Spaldy.
Hell yeah.
And proceed to do some shopping. The one downside to much like regular Aldi is there are not enough people on register.
I gotta wait.
So
in
it
line.
does take a little while to check out. But outside of that, you manage to get Spaldy, and then swing back by the apartment and drop things off if you need to.
Yeah.
It's been about 40-ish minutes, so you managed to come back around. I will let you know your pass without trace has passed. For Danny, as you are contacted by your two, at this point I'm going to say cohorts, because there's not a better word to describe the three of you at this point in time.
Mhm.
That I don't know, are they joining you at the club, that you should go into the club? What do you tell Danny now that you finished shopping, dropped off your robot parts, and have acquired food for the next few days?
Spaldy had no chemically controlled substances. Where are you?
Yep.
Watching a deal of chemically controlled substances.
On our way.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Clearly.
I would like to meet up with Danny wherever she is.
Danny's outside the club, and I think this is a great little spot because we've been going for about an hour 45 to take a short break to get some water and rehash before we hit the club, because that feels like the next thing we're going to do. This is a very different team building than I thought we were going to do. We're going in all sorts of different directions.
Maybe we'll find something fun, or maybe we'll all just get shit faced and have a great time together. Who knows?
Well, maybe Dr. Gas is the club. We don't know yet.
But we'll find out.
Yeah,
very soon.
We'll see where the night takes us. Maybe
we'll see.
Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, dun, 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 dun.
Hello, everybody. We are back.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I hope you all had a nice little agua break, maybe some restroomage. And we find ourselves having the group of intrepid collaborators, again, only viable word at this point in time, I feel, having met back up like outside the club, at the building, like above the club. Like, how are you perched? Like in this area?
I mean, the urge to be perched on the top of the building across from the club like Batman is very strong. But I think it's more is this like kind of a pop-in area? Is this still where a lot of people are like outside, or am I
Yeah,
gonna be noticeable?
this is very much a blaring music nightclub, people coming in and out, VIP line, regular line. Like, it's a club. It is a club. It has lots of people moving in and out. It is, you can get lost in a crowd, but getting in is something that might take a little bit, as you know, you're not exactly like, you guys try to sneak in and be stealthy about it, but it's not, it does have security. You don't get to walk around the metal detectors. You're not those types of people.
I am made of metal.
Yeah, well, you know, there are lots of people that are probably made of weapons, but by metal detectors, I do mean weapon scanners, which you are also made of weapons. I'm aware.
I
You're
am also
literally
made
made of weapons and metal. That is the only two things you do, and then like a brain in a jar. Like, I get it. You're a full conversion Borg.
I mean, I'm made to
You're
look like
going-
a person. You know, it's pretty convincing. But
I almost said you're going full Scarlett Johansson, but I don't want to disrespect a much better property, so
yes.
full Ghost in the Shell.
Probably like I've probably been in like kind of the main line just to like kind of listen to chatter, but if I get a little too close to the front and my friends aren't here yet, I'm like, oh, you can go in front of me, I'm waiting for somebody, you know, like just kind of playing it off and just keep
I will let you know that the line has not moved enough that you have gotten in if you are waiting in the main line in 45
okay
minutes.
cool.
You've moved maybe 10 feet.
Okay. What's the chatter? That's mostly it is. I'm trying to like kind of get the vibes and like keeping an eye on like the alley, the walkway, like seeing. I'm wanting to make
Which
sure
particular
that we're not
chatter
gonna
are
have people try
you-
and kill us in the middle of the night, and these are just like shitty scrubs, you know.
No, what type of chatter are you looking for especially? Because there's lots and lots of chatter of different types. There's lots of people talking about like how good this club is. There's some people talking about drugs they're trying to score. There's people talking about this other thing that happened, that other thing that happened, rumors about why there's extra people here. The rumors about extra people here are confirmed that there's probably some sort of auction going on in the near future. And that there may or may not be company reps from like other companies here to deal with those particular auctions type situations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm probably listening like that. That has kind of like piqued my interest. And kind of listening on any sort of like auction kind of chit chat. But a lot on like the club. Anything about this place, drama, rumors. It's just got really good DJs, you know.
Usually really good live music, usually really good, just happening. Good prices, good music, and good supply is kind of what you get out of it. Like, definitely one of those things where like you can find the drugs in the general vicinity of the club. And they are not so, it is not so much that like people are passed out, but it is like they have good quality stuff here. They don't let people, like, you kind of hear the rumor that like if people overdo it, they probably get tossed out the back type situation. They have some way to remove people from the club, so it's not like bothering other people that are here type situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so you know there's probably other ways in and out in the main entrance, but you don't really see them from where you're at.
Okay.
But you also know at the rate you're moving, you might not even get in tonight type. Like you might be waiting in line. But then again, the problem with being inside of an asteroid field is what is time?
Yeah.
You're inside of an asteroid. What is day-night cycle?
Okay. Then if I've kind of gotten that vibe, I probably would have instead like scooted myself out of view, maybe like up against like an alley, up against a building, just somewhere where like my back is to solid wall. And might be doing some sort of just general, I don't know what like the internet ability is here, but like searching locally or maybe even through our government database if we have access to it, or maybe pinging even Kiki. I want to learn more about these high-end folks possibly coming. to this auction.
So you're not going to find anything locally there.
Okay.
And the government databases you have access to is like you can cross-reference with like Malorian Arms. This is that they do. Like you can find the manufacturers listed and like what they're about, but you need to contact Kiki to find out what like possible flight like the type of things that Kiki will have access to would not be things you would legally be able to find on the open net type situation and the open sim. Okay. Because if you're asking for like, hey, has this particular person's flight manifest put them here at this point in time?
Yeah,
how many people are using their private space? How many companies are using private spacecraft to send people here that may or may not be part of the arms dealing? Like, that's all stuff you're gonna have to ping Kiki for.
That's probably what I'll do. So, just to like talk out my idea that popped in my head to the crew. Figure out who the people are here under the guise of like weapons arms, and this was nearby. Oh, we should look into it. But also to see who's going to be there and all this stuff. I have lots of I have forgery stuff. Get someone in here, all three of us possibly. We're important people to get in this VIP line so you can get your drugs. But also get us into the auction.
Do we know the auction's gonna happen here at the club or just here in this city?
In the port somewhere, right?
It is in the port city. It is not at the club.
Gotcha.
That's the auction is not supposed to happen tonight. First and foremost, it is happening somewhere soon in this situation. So you will ping Kiki. There'll be probably about a 12-minute delay. At which point in time, Kiki will ask if this is cross-referencing to where the arms may have come from earlier. Like, basically, she's doing the follow-through on why you want this particular thing, and if you believe that this would be dealing with the arms that were seized earlier and handed over, there might be looking for more buyers for these types of weapons here.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, the side thing is I just want to know so I can like falsify some records, but like that is legitimately is like. I kind of want to just figure out who's going to be here, why, especially like, because what this was, you said it was Aramis? What was the Artemis? What was the guns we found?
Aramis.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, yeah, any sort of people that would deal with them, want to fuck them over, just I want to get an eye on all the people here with these big guns to see who is going to be pissed that they don't have a supply, possibly, or something.
Kiki will basically cross-reference some things and let you know when she has some information. Mm-hmm. As for getting you on a manifest into this thing, into this club, she will forward that on to Ash to do locally on the local net so she can focus on what's going on here. She's like, I'm not going, like, it's not that it's beneath her, it's that it is splitting her resources for a minor thing you should be able to handle.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't asking her to do that. I was asking for the information so we could forge the identities and get our names on the list.
She recommends just having Ash add your name to the internal manifest on their internal network, because it'll be faster than you forging documents.
You saw how quickly I did that T99, baby. Might not be that long.
I guess if you're not forging physical documents, but digital things, yes, it wouldn't take very long. But like, also, she just assumes Ash can probably get on their local net and have your names added to a list. She's like, this feels like a 5-minute job for Ash.
Yeah,
not there yet.
To be 100% clear, I was not asking her to falsifiers.
Yeah,
I was digging for the names and the information so we could figure out who we are. I don't want her to know that I'm falsifying or we're trying to like sneak into shit.
Kiki, can you get us into the club?
yeah.
Kiki, do you love me? Yeah, but no. Sure. So yeah, no, she'll just be like, she'll be let you know when she can get you back the other information about finding that out and what other people may or may not be moving in whatever directions. She thinks it's a pretty good lead, especially if you found a lead on manufacturers. She will then let you know that she may have a list of the groups and or people to look out for tied to the possible operation of the ship you guys scuttled earlier, and give you that intel later. So it might be a change in priority in the situation. But she will forward on like the local net addresses to Ash so that when Ash arrives, Ash can access these things. And basically, when your friends turn up, they have rolls to make. And yeah.
I sent you on a shopping trip and I got you work to do when you get here. You're welcome.
Wonderful.
I see this ping on my phone and I'm just shaking my head.
Like even if it's really a phone, it's probably just like the communicator with the VR display. This is a ping of like, this is the local net address for this particular club so that you may access their internal things when you arrive to add yourself to the VIP list. Like, Ash is like, oh yes, because I'm known to club so hard.
Yeah.
But yeah. You get everything in the freezer, the refrigerator, the humidifier, and the sous vide, whatever other things that store food in this particular area, because I assume you need all 4 now, based upon it being alien worlds and not everything will just go in a fridge. That's what my brain tells me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been about an hour, and you arrive at the club unless you would untampered with, unless you would like to be tampered with. At which point in time, I can roll on the random encounter table, which doesn't exist.
I'm good. You don't have to tamper with me. It's fine.
And yeah, so we find ourselves outside the club in a dark alley. You can try to hack your way in, or you can just blow a hole in the wall and start I'm kidding.
I'm adding our names to the manifest.
Okay. Give me a computer's roll. That's what it's there for.
I don't have enough poison for everyone in this club.
27.
Yeah, no, you add your names to the manifest. Whatever names you would like to add to the manifest, as well as Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck if you want.
Yeah. I add all of
My
our names.
preferred
I remove
alias.
a few just to cause issue with their knights.
Nice. Nice. I feel that won't come back to be an issue later at all.
No.
What names do you remove? How many?
I just removed 2 names that look
Just removed 2?
unsuspicious.
That look unsuspicious. Give me an evens or an odds. Which would you pick?
Odds.
Okay. Give me an evens or an odds.
Odds again.
Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for plot you've just made for me. I appreciate it.
Oh no!
You gave us 3 days to do whatever we want. This is just the start.
I did. Yeah. Dominoes down the hill.
We are only an hour in, baby.
Mm-hmm. We're 2 hours into this catastrophe. Nothing bad can happen.
It's fine.
Me in the first session. It'd be really funny if I removed this guy's name from the club. Our final session.
The big boss, the guy you removed.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know
My
exactly
name
who
off.
you've removed
Yes,
now
let's-
under my brainy pretense. So
Wonderful.
Yeah. yeah. All right. So you arrive. They let you into the VIP. It is loud. It is loud visually. Like there's a lot of AR visual noise, as well as loud audio noise as well. So you might want to turn down your AR if you're running any augmented reality shenanigans on your heads-up displays and sensors. It is loud in here. Like if you've seen the recent WWE shenanigans where there's like the crazy like holographic-y like overlay stuff when they have entrances, that type of stuff is everywhere in here. Like there are giant yelling Roman Reigns is everywhere.
Yeah.
But no, there's like giant VR effects that are like kind of eating up the AR. So there's a lot of visual noise in here as well. If people would like to give me perception checks, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17. Wait, perception is not a 5. Perception's more than a 5. 20 dirty.
Hey, like it.
That's a 12.
12.
16.
Okay. So at a 16, at a 12, you're in a club. You go to these things almost never as a scientist who doesn't like to club all that often.
Yeah.
You are here to find the drugs. You do not see the drugs. You're around. At a 16, you perceive things going on. You clearly see some deals going down. You see some people swapping between credits, like unmarked credit chits, and probably the things the exact doctor is looking for happening. And that's kind of going on. And you also get the feeling at a 16, you're kind of being watched. At a 20, Taylor, you look up to see the exchange from Bad Boys 1, where the dude is up on the upper balcony in the blaring nightclub and looks out and sees you and then points at you because he sees you because you beat up his friends 10 minutes ago or a few hours ago in this particular case, like an hour and 15 minutes ago. Like you see that happening when you're getting pointed out from the dude in the VIP in the backlit area, and you see yourself being pointed at there with a 20 because that's... Yeah, we just get that Bad Boys 1 scene if we're all familiar with it. If we're not,
I do a little salute to him. Like, I see you seeing me.
I see you seeing me. I see you seeing me, seeing you, seeing me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you are aware that you have been spotted in this club, and they know you are here. So.
Everyone outside said things about lots of drugs being here, so I figured you'd enjoy it.
I can't seem to find any drugs.
Yes, so far I haven't found any of these drugs.
Have you checked the bathroom?
Drugs.
Yeah.
The two with the higher perception rolls are like drugs.
Yeah, like, well,
no signs for drugs.
They've got some of their... That guy up there who's pointing at me, I'm sure has great ones. But also, you could probably check the bathroom. That's where people are going to be using them all fucked up. You can just grab them.
All right, I'll follow your advice. I'll go to the bathroom and look for drugs.
There were like 4 other steps before that. Okay.
What?
All right. So the doctor breaks off to use the bathroom. The two of you that rolled well notice that he is followed to the bathroom shortly after he heads towards the bathroom. Because, he was chatting with you and,
I guess we should stick together. Guess let's go steal drugs from someone in the bathroom. Keep bonding.
Yep. So before you get into the bathroom, the doctor would like to give me a perception check about now he's in the bathroom. Actually, I'll give me an investigation roll about bathroom investigation.
Even worse for me.
Even worse.
My perception is actually pretty good, but okay. Decent. 17 investigation.
So you quickly find the drugs in the bathroom and people using them and someone who will sell you drugs in the bathroom. They do want unmarked credit chits, which is a thing that you might not have requisitioned recently. Like you have a link account that you can use with your government funding, but they want basically sticks that are unmarked so that they can, not have traceable credits to spend. So you might want to go to the ATM or go get some of those, which shouldn't be that hard. Like you can go to the bar and probably get the bartender to give you a chit and then transfer. But it's kind of a hassle, but it's definitely what they want. Like they don't want traceable money because that's what happens when you're dealing with electronic currency. Very easy to find out who gave you what for what.
All right.
But you're in there dealing with the bathroom, and I'm gonna stick with your 12. What's your passive perception?
It's 10 plus my perception skill. Yeah, that'll be 15.
Oh, at a 15 with your passive perception, you realize that it's getting kind of quieter in here, and like some of the people have suddenly got shushed and rushed out, and then like you kind of turn around and there's like 4 big dudes standing in the bathroom that clearly are here to engage with you in what may or may not be violence, but at least some sort of interaction.
Well, this is inconvenient. What exactly is this?
Your associate got involved in Mr. Rogan's business, and Mr. Rogan would like to talk to you and your associates. And we figured that you came to the bathroom for some peace and quiet, so we can have you talk to Mr. Rogan first.
Am I familiar with the name Rogan?
Give me what's an appropriate stat? I get to look at stats on character sheets. Definitely not medicine. You're really good at that, but definitely not medicine.
Yeah. What do I remember from medical school about Rogan?
About Rogan. Let's go. We can just do a lore check. Lore seems fine.
Cool. I got a +1, making that 13 total.
Rogan is involved in the underworld and is a semi-reasonably powerful name. Not like, like a super boss, but probably some underboss somewhere that has enough stroke to make someone's life hard. But this isn't like, this is the person at the top of a heap. You can guess, based on your passive insight, based on what's happening here, he probably controls this area and this club. Like, you can put that much together from this situation.
Okay. All right.
And you also are smart enough to put together that, like, you could possibly talk your way into something better. You beat up some low-level street thugs that were inconveniencing you. Yeah. This guy is probably has more to do than just that. But
sure. I'll say, all right then. I was looking for drugs, but I guess we can talk to Mr. Rogan. I will say that, and I will say that on comms just so the others hear me saying I'm going to talk to Rogan.
So you've been made aware that the good doctor is on his way to talk to Rogan. What do you two want to do as you start heading towards the restroom? Which has two very large bouncer-esque people who clearly look like they belong in this club standing outside of it.
Lots of security for this bathroom.
Yeah, there's like 6 dudes. There's 6 dudes of various species that weigh lots and lots, like way more secure. They're probably someone's personal, like, go get him squad, and they're going to get the doctor because he broke off from you guys.
I think if I hear that, I'll just look over to Ash, kind of shrug, and like turn my path to start going towards that upstairs VIP booth. Just like,
sure.
All right. Again, do a little salute to the guards at the door, like, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna follow her.
That's fine. So they show you in, like, you get to like the VIP stairs again, more security, bouncer looking dudes, of varying species. I'm not going to try to describe. Just think Cantina meets Bad Boys 1. So it's like got lots of people of various different alien species, all engaging and vibing, plus that very Bad Boys-ish loud blaring musical vibe.
We need a counter keeping track of every time we reference Bad Boys 1.
This is the first episode. Next episode will be Bad Boys 2, and clearly that'll be Bad Boys for life. Like,
gotcha.
Like, there's gonna be a whole somebody getting shot in the ass joke next game. I have to do that now. Like,
we have to.
I mean, that is the vibe for this club. Is that like pulsating, everybody packed in together, lots of people of lots of different species. Vibe is going on right now. That is so, like, they stop you at like when you get to the VIP like stairs, and they kind of wait for the doctor and his now 6 very large friends that you count in total, because there were 4 inside the bathroom and 2 outside the bathroom, 6 in total. And they just kind of scoop you up in that motion and walk you up the steps. It's the moment you get inside, it is much quieter. It's like this place has been soundproofed. You can kind of see there's some security feeds, some other people along the back wall. There's other things going on. Like, people are stacking credit chits up, recycling things through. If like you're looking for drugs, there's clearly drugs here that are being supplied. It's very much an operation inside the club once you get inside. And like the 3 of you are kind of escorted by these 6 individuals into what appears to be like a lounge-ish area where this person clearly does like a bit of relaxing and a bit of business. And like, they set you in. There's like probably 4 or 5 minutes. You can see like the guy who ran out of the store, pacing like in the room with you, but on the way. The six guards are still like kind of along the back wall at this point in time. They're still in the room, but they're no longer in line of sight. And then like door opens and this 3-foot-ish, almost like bird, best way to describe them would be almost bird person, with like a much larger gentleman behind them walks in, and it is very clear very quickly the bird is the one calling the shots. It is not the big guy is the bodyguard, and the bird is clearly the one in charge. They walk in and like goes to sit down and looks you over and is like, so Chansey over here tells me your friend beat up some of my boys.
Yes, a fight broke out as we were trying to shop. But wasn't our intention to do any serious damage. Scuffles happen.
Okay. Fair enough. He looks like that kind of irked where like somebody has told him something and maybe blown it out of proportion, but unsure. The fact that like none of you guys are really sweating about this and like clearly tells him that you're people that like are used to violence or around these things and are not completely like, oh my god, we're in the, like, you're like, he's dealing with professionals at this point in time. And he's like, all right, so you don't care about the actual shakedown of the location, it sounds like.
No, not at all.
Fair enough. That makes things way easier. He looks annoyed at the dude and like says some things in a language none of you speak because it's like bird chirpy noises. And the guy clearly like looks taken aback and kind of scared and like runs out, and some exchange happens. Some of my gentlemen told me you were looking for product.
Yes, purely recreational, out of curiosity.
Like large amounts you looking to distribute in the area?
No.
You seem to be the person that like he like, because you guys are all wearing really nice stuff. You're military backed. Like you look like that person who deals in large quantities and not in small quotas.
I'm not trying to establish any kind of business or trade, if that's what you're asking. Simply a sampling.
Interesting. For personal use, or are you doing something with it?
Personal, I'd say.
Interesting. Okay. Like there's kind of exchange back and forth. The larger bodyguard looking dude like checks his clearly checks his earpiece because, you know, these are how these things work. Looks a little bit perturbed and is like, leans down, says some things, and goes, excuse me a moment. There seems to be an issue at the front door.
Oops.
By all means.
You hear that, and like clearly something's happened. So now you're kind of alone. You're alone in the sense of there aren't any named NPCs, but there are goons of clearly much higher level than there were. Not street level goons, clearly like penthouse level goons in the room with you. And you're just kind of left waiting. You're having that like, well, we're waiting at the beginning of Far Cry moment. What do we do?
Can I look over to the room wherever Chansey was like pacing back and forth and being all concerned, and just like kind of give him a little?
Well, Chansey left after he got chewed out.
Oh, he was the one that got chewed out. I thought he was talking to the big guy.
No, Chauncey got chewed out.
Oh, okay. Well, then as he was leaving,
you eyeballed him.
Yeah, I will say on the comms something about like trouble at the front, just to make sure that the others hear that that's what's going on.
I mean, they scooped you up with all of you.
Oh, so we're all here. Oh.
Yeah, you're all there. When you
Okay.
they met back up with you at the bottom of the steps. Those 6 guys became like opened up and got all 3 of you up there.
Gotcha.
Rather than take you
Well.
up one at a time.
Well,
So this
team
kind of
bonding is
awkward
going
waiting
well.
for the crime lord moment.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it is. I mean, look at us. Teamwork.
I really thought getting drugs would be easier than this.
Well, I bet if we went to a different club, it would have been easier.
Yeah, should have shopped around.
Mm-hmm.
Can we? I guess I'm just like checking my surroundings. Like, what can I tell from
You can tell that something has happened at the front gate. I don't know if Ash told you he pulled names off the list, but
I don't think I told anyone. I did it for fun.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here sweating because I know that's my fault.
Legit. If you want an insight on Ash, maybe you could see how well Ash is deceiving everybody from the bead of sweat dropping, rolling down the side of his forehead, a la Total Recall.
Sure, I'll roll insight. Insight. That's gonna be 23.
Roll deception if you wish. That's up to you. That's it.
Yeah, let's roll deception. Let's make it funny. Yeah, that's gonna be a 13.
So Ash is randomly a little more nervous than Ash normally is in this situation. Like, Ash has been in these kind of harebrained situations before with the 3 of you over the last 4 months, but like, this isn't. Ash is normally not this nervous when these things are happening. Your surroundings are kind of in that like lounge, like drug lord move where there's like in the corner someone's counting credit chips, other people are counting product, there's goons behind you, so if you go to run, even though you're not dismissed, it might turn ugly. But it's that awkward waiting for the crime boss because something happened.
I think I'll say, what do you think could have happened, Ash?
I don't know.
Maybe someone tried to break in, or someone was bringing in other drugs that weren't like from the suppliers here. Because she's not even paying attention. She's been kind of bopping to the music, just kind of looking around. keeping her head on the swivel, but not paying attention to her crew, like necessarily.
Yeah.
So
maybe
if you're keeping your head on a swivel, if Danny's keeping her head on a swivel, Danny can see there was like, because the room here opens out and looks out at the whole club, Danny can tell there was a commotion at the front door. It seems to have been cleared up, but you can see the bodyguard and Rogan coming back in a bit of a huff.
What's the likelihood I can read lips?
One, there aren't enough lips for you to read. There's one set of lips. Beaks don't have lips.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
You read beaks is the universal question. And I don't think you're going to read beaks, unless I could be wrong about that.
No, I don't think I know how to read beaks.
Looks like he's saying blah 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 blah.
It's like he's a talking head.
Yeah. I don't know what that means though. Probably.
So they come back up. He's a little like flustered, but not like mad at you, but mad. Sorry, it seems that a illustrious guest was removed from the VIP and things may have gone awry. I will be dealing with that shortly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But you were talking about a grouping of product for personal use, is what I heard.
Yes. I don't know the usual protocol for buying drugs, but
he looks a little. You don't know the usual protocol for buying. That's a very, very interesting way to say that. Like, it's that moment of like, what?
Yeah.
Like, he's a more trained scientist, not as much a street scientist, if you get my drift.
Oh, you're a chemist then?
Yes, of sorts. Doctor by trade.
Oh, you're a big man. Okay. Fair enough, Doc. And like he'll be like, interesting. Sounds good. All right. And like at this point in time, he kind of shuffles you off to somebody else. I'm gonna go deal with this cybersecurity matter. I will speak to you illustrious folks later. And like he's gonna head off, and basically what appears to be like a major domo or secretary-ish type figure is going to come in. Introduces herself as Lana, and will basically take you around to some product. If you will give me an insight check.
Yeah. All right. 25.
Sounds good. You can tell they are selling you good stuff. You would also tell they're selling it to you marked up a lot based upon the way you look, based upon what is going on. Like, where this would normally sell for X amount, you're probably paying 1.5 to 1.75. But that also means you're also getting shown around by like the major domo of the club where the drugs are being sold, not having to go through local low-level pushers. So you're in that weird situation where like you're paying more, but you also know you're getting access to good product. You're also being the people you're being shown the product to means that you're going to end up paying more. You're not like, I am talking to Bill, the guy who sells weed. You're talking to people who move lots and lots of product in this particular situation. You're paying more to having drugs be sold to you by people who are much higher up the food chain.
Okay.
It's much like paying for a white Gucci shirt. You know you're paying more, but you're effectively paying for the name brand.
Yeah.
But also as a chemist, you know you're probably also getting stuff that hasn't been stepped on or chemically reduced as much. So you're getting better quality product, not the price you're paying with a 25. You know you're not getting that. But you know you're getting stuff that hasn't been stepped on, and you're basically paying for name recognition. You're paying not to have bought it from Jim the weed dealer. You're paying to have bought it from this person.
Yeah. If I were to buy something, would they take the creds that I have?
They will do a bank transfer, not cred stick. They will do a transfer because they can launder it other way. They can launder it as a thing through the club rather than guy in bathroom stall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you will have to fill out an expense report because this is coming from your government money, but sure.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't care about the government's money. Yeah, I'll use it to yeah, I would like to buy like a sampling of like what are they offering? Are these just like recreational drugs? Are these
You can find everything in here from recreational drugs to low-level combat stims. I don't mean like the nicest combat stims, but like the low-level one that makes your strength, like I think it's the uncommon one that raises your strength to 19. You can find a couple doses of that. Little things like mixtures of things like that. So you can find like the lowest tier of combat drugs and recreational drugs as well.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the doctor would want to get like a sampling of everything. But I don't know like what my resources would allow.
You can get a sampling of everything pretty easily. It's just going to be a weird requisition form later. Because again, all of this comes from a government account, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. And then I will do that. I'll deal with the consequences later.
Sounds good.
I'll just be over his shoulder. I'm just like, okay, just make sure that whatever it is, it's like under this amount of money. Otherwise, that's a whole different form, and that's going to take twice as long. So make sure you go under this cap, and there should be just a 782927767 form. And honestly, that's only a measly 50 pages. It shouldn't take long at all. There's a good bit of things, but I can help with that.
I trust you'll be able to work through the bureaucracy of this. Thank you so much. As I'm taking a dose of like the first recreational drug.
Give me a con save.
Okay. Here's the thing about Oryx as well. When he was brought back, one of his cybernetic augmentations was an internal filtration system. which protects him from like poison and disease. So he's also interested in how how these drugs interact with these new internal organs. But I'll roll con. Did you say con save or con?
Con save.
Okay.
A saving throw.
Oh, saving throw 17.
Okay. At a 17, nothing seems to be affecting you right now. You pop the first one, and you're like, you're having the Captain America problem. The I can't get drunk problem.
Fascinating and a little disappointing. You two try this one. We'll get doses.
I don't partake in anything that could alter my senses.
I do it, but I have the same problem, so I also have the internal filtration system, so I don't think it's going to do much
I
to
also
me.
have it. Did they give it to all of us? That's very funny.
We're at a club and none of us can get drunk.
When you can be poisoned, you just pass the con save for being drunk. That's the difference.
Oh, I see.
You don't take poison damage and you're immune to poison, but you were like, I go to take this drug. You're like, no, it doesn't seem to affect you.
Oh, okay.
That's what the con save was for. So if you get them to take the drug, they'll have to make the con save. That's a whole other conversation.
Gotcha. Okay. Well.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's
go ahead.
All I'll do right now. I'll take these to go, please.
Look at a doggy bag.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you can convince them, if they don't take the drugs, they don't take the drugs, and they're fine. If you would like to take the drugs, go ahead and make me my con save.
I've made it canon officially now. Straight edge.
Danny is straight edge. Check. That means she's better than you.
I'll take the con save.
Roll that beautiful con save footage.
That is a 15.
That is not good enough to make the save. You pop it back, and like you feel like you feel like your internal new cybernetics whirling, so you don't take any poison damage. But you do, like, all of a sudden, like, everything is brighter. You're at disadvantage to any perception rolls for the rest of the next hour.
No. Which is bad because like my first thought was to get like a flashlight and like put it in front of his eyes and see.
I'm like, this is so bright.
Yeah. And like everything is brighter and like more vivid and like there and like it's starting to be like, whoa. And then like you brush up against the couch and it feels so nice. You're like, it feels so good. You just start.
I'm just flopping over. I'm like,
yeah,
wow.
you're just flopping over it and rubbing your face on it at this point in time. Like, is it the best?
I'm like, this is amazing. All I want to do is touch this couch.
Yeah.
I'm furiously taking notes.
I feel like this might be a good time to head home and make tacos.
Yes. See how tacos interact with this substance.
That and I'm very hungry. I have not eaten today.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. We haven't had proper rations, so maybe the empty stomach is a different thing. So you have to try it again on a full stomach. See, I can do science.
Good point.
See, I can do science.
That is science.
I feel like this is a great team bonding moment. You know, if we're going to be honest, I don't trust you as far as I could throw you, but I like getting in your head a little bit with these science experiments. It's very fun.
Yeah, as I'm watching,
I can't throw you very far.
Like,
actually,
around on the couch. Yes, I'm coming around to team bonding.
Wonderful. I need a different expression because I can't throw you very far. What's something I couldn't do very far?
Turns out I can throw you. That doesn't work.
I'll just change that to a compliment.
Well, all right.
So you start heading out, and you don't get stopped, but you do see what appears to be a individual who is frustrated, for lack of a better term. They are frustrated. They are complaining about how they weren't let in like they should have.
Oh no. What does this drug do?
Makes you it's an MDMA Molly-esque thing. So
Okay,
it makes you-
we're not
make you wanna
like
tell the truth. It's not a
loose
truth
lips
serum.
or anything
No.
like a
No,
alcohol.
if anything, I'm trying to like touch everything.
Yeah,
The
Ash
texture
is trying to
great.
touch everything. Like Ash sees somebody with non-tentacly hair, and he's like, "Touch the non-tentacle hair."
I'm just grabbing so many things, like a throw pillow off of one of the like bougie couches there, like a glass, and like letting Ash touch it, making sure that oh shit, Owen, what's your character's name?
Oryx.
Oryx like sees it, takes note, and continue.
And what does no
I'm
one
even
feel like?
making the drug taking a team bonding
Yeah, that one.
experience for us.
I
I will
have
just
been-
grab Ash's hand and pull it back when they look like they're about to like touch someone. I'm like,
You're like,
Cause potentially an international, intergalactical incident.
Yeah.
I have been officially informed by a scientist that you guys are not doing science. I do have to break that to you.
no,
It has been
it's
recorded.
an experiment.
No,
This is our first, then our next
I
test
think
will be on
I
the
think
fourth
that
gun.
I think there'll be a debate about that later, but I just have to inform you that an official scientist has informed me that this is not actually doing science. This is just still doing drugs, technically.
From my experience as someone who has only taken science courses in high school, I am doing science. I am doing an experiment. I can make a
American
trifold
education
presentation on this
system.
when we're done.
These are field observations in a non-controlled environment. I will put an asterisk on these notes.
Thank you. There you go. I believe that will satiate them, right?
Yeah.
But yes, they are complaining. If anyone would like to make me a lore check,
Yeah.
and Danny, based upon being a hunter, can get an advantage on this.
Got a cool 5.
Nope.
Oh my, is this a 14 or a 19? What is the font on this fucking thing?
I got a
14, okay.
28.
15 for me total.
15 for you total. So at a 15, you're pretty sure that's another renowned hunter named Merrick, who is also known as a hunter and or tracker, who may or may not have targets that need to go missing.
Oh, you're so fucked, Ash. But I have no idea what's going on.
The name you deleted was Merrick M. And you now realize that was probably short for Merrick the Merciless, who is a renowned, basically bounty hunter and murderer for hire.
Oops.
Does Ash just say oops randomly as we're walking by? And I'm like,
Yep. Full
okay.
on. Oops.
It's fine. You didn't drop anything.
Yeah. So that's at least one of the names you deleted. Probably what the kerfuffle at the door was about, now that you've put that together, and probably why they're checking their cybersecurity again, because that is someone they really wanted the VIP to let in, to not have to wait in line or do anything, because that is not someone you want to piss off, because they're not a joke. They didn't. What's up?
They're merciless.
They're merciless. Mm-hmm. But there you go. But you managed to make it back without any incident, it seems, to your safe house. And I believe it is taco time when you get there. And it is technically after midnight on the East Coast now, so it is technically Taco Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm going to make margaritas as well. Virgin.
That's just ice.
And lime.
It's ice and sour mix at that point in time.
Ooh, yeah. I'll do it with like some lime and some orange and a little bit of bubbly water. Make it like a
few
top shelf.
chemical compounds.
You can do that.
But I believe that seems like a good place to wrap up day 1
team bonding and tacos.
Surprisingly
Team bonding
wholesome
tacos.
end to this.
We started with gassing an entire ship. And
Yeah.
we ended with tacos.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the vibe. This game is going to go all over the place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There we go. So I believe we can do some outros and some where people we can go. It's again who we are, where people can find us, and go from there. And I'll start with Taylor this time.
Oh boy, it is me. Hello, I am Taylor Apochromatic. I have been your Danny. Add some vowels at the end of it. Probably lots of like other weird alien noises is the full name, but yeah, you can find me all over the place. Obviously, that's every other Monday when I'm not here. I'm playing Lancer over on Lost Caravan. It is season 2 of our Dustgrave. We're now Hell's Gate. Same assholes, different planet, ship, system, thing, space station. You can also find me over on... Actually, I don't think I physically have anything going on High Shelf Collective anymore. Other than running the entire fucking channel. But I lied. I forget our other campaign to start up. So we do have the finale of Die coming up on the 30th. Very excited for that. But on Thursday, I won't be in this first episode, but I'll be in the rest. We have the Last Caravan, which is like alien travel-y interesting. I'm very excited. I'm playing an old woman, Gertrude, who originated on Apochromatic, though no one ever got to see the video because we didn't get to finish that campaign. So it's out. No one knows except for me, Max, Logan, and J Mark who Gertrude is, but she's back, baby. And I'm very excited for it. You can also find me on Fridays for the rest of this month on Entropy Emporium, where I run a Thirsty Sword Lesbian campaign. I think that's it. And the Bloom and Blight, wherever you listen to your podcast, listen to Bloom and Blight. We've had our record downloads, and it's very exciting. We're about to come back from our winter kind of break hiatus for the rest of season 1, and we're already filming season 2. So you'll have so much content. Check it out.
So much content.
It's very good. We cry, we laugh, we're gay. It's fun. Magic girls. That's it. That's all I got. I'm sure there's more, but that's it.
Yep. All right. Let's go with Cameron.
Hi, yeah, I'm Cameron. You can find me at Chaos Theory on the internet with 2 A's and 2 E's. Find me here every other Monday. You should go follow all of everyone else's stuff because I'm not in anything else. So
For now.
Yet.
That's how it starts.
Yet. This is much like the drugs you did. This is introductory.
Yeah.
It's a
gateway.
Mm-hmm. All right. Owen.
Hi, I am Owen J. Ace. You can find me at Ace of Squares on all socials. You can find me on this stream every other Monday. I am also doing some streams for High Shelf Collective. You can see me there tomorrow. If you want to see me do a TED Talk about video game writing, we're doing Off the Shelf tomorrow. Also have a one-shot coming up. Taylor, we're in the Pirate Borg one-shot.
Oh my God, I am doing that too. Yes.
Yeah. Later.
Yeah. 27th.
This month. Yeah. But yeah, stay tuned. There might be more. But yeah, I will be around.
There you go. And I've been Paul. You can also find me on High Shelf next Monday, where we'll be doing Worldwide Wrestling. You can find me. What's up?
So this is where you come. This is the gateway. This was the gateway. Now we got to pull the HSC.
Yeah. We'll pull you to HSC where you're doing 63 things a month. We're chill. HSC is going. Where you can find me cutting some promos and moving up some rankings, more than likely, from the sound of things, with a really fun Worldwide Wrestling game. I need to rewatch our first episode so I can get down that announcer voice again, because apparently that was Taylor's favorite part.
It's so good.
I have a Gordon Sully impression that I do apparently fairly well, if you know that deep wrestling cut, for all you wrestling nerds out there. But yeah, you can find us also here Thursday. You can find me at Ashton and Max doing some Genshin in 3 days, whatever we're calling it. It's after midnight my time, so I guess 2 days now. Who even knows? Time is a construct. But we are having some fun here, and we'll be having some more fun in 2 weeks. So you should come back and see us again. Bring all the Raiders one more time. Also,
I have to do that.
you do have to do that here in a moment.
I'm in charge.
Also, we have some stuff going on for Medical Aid for Palestine, so check that out as well. Make sure to give to that. Those people need it more than I need a haircut and other things, so go do that. So there you go. And now you have to find a place to raid. I don't know where you're going to go. Is there anywhere to go? Are we on so late? There's
I'm
nowhere
not
to
even
go.
getting the raid button for some reason. What? Oh, it moved. Oh God, it was on the
Coming
right
right
side.
for
Now
you.
it's on the left side and further down. Why did it move?
It's coming right for you.
Caravan is our only following that is still streaming. So we'll go over.
Who's running a game there? Who's running a game there?
I think it's
Is it
Heck.
If Heck's running, tell Heck we can raid.
Yeah, we'll freaking raid Heck. Everybody give all the love. And we'll see y'all in 2 weeks for
Later.
this.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. You gotta run like you never been there. You gotta run, run, run. You gotta run, 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 run.